And if I happen to offend my political connects, understand I have no time to be politically correct. I speak from the soul, so let my thoughts reflect the passion in my voice to be poetically correct. That's how I'm feeling.
All right.
Hold on.
Smooth. Sunday smooth vibes.
Hey, this is the vibe we on right now. This is the vibe we on. You know, it's a little gloomy outside.
Yeah.
It's a little, the rain's coming down a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a few puddles outside.
This shit stay at home.
But there's no puddle in here.
Nope.
Nah, it may have been a puddle last night.
Hey.
I don't know where that was going. But we're not going to go there right now. It's poetically correct.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome
We
to
out
another
here.
episode.
Yes, brought to you by Rome DiCarlo.
Yes.
Beyond definition.
Yes.
Beyond your definition.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, we got you.
Second time's a charm.
Second time is the charm. Sometimes, sometimes you shoot your shot, it kind of rims out. Then you gather back up. You get the shoulders right.
Sometimes you don't even hit people back for 2 years, and then you come back and it's a situation.
Yikes.
True.
Yikes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you notice the trash 2 years later and you just take it out then.
Damn.
Wait a minute.
That's true
Notice
too.
Why? Okay.
That's
all
true
right,
too.
Hold on. Pause. Hold on. This how we. This the energy that we gotta start. Hold on. I am poetically POETICLE. You can follow me at poetically. Follow Rome DiCarlo. It's pretty obvious. Rome DiCarlo. And matter of fact, you got it. We got it right here under the name.
Yes.
Yeah,
Check it out.
And
Check it
beyond
out, check
your
it out.
definition.
Yep.
But beyond your definition, why is this, I really, oh my gosh,
It's that Aries spirit.
You so petty, yo. Why you so petty? No matter of fact, you petty. All right, now look here. Anytime things get brought up where it could be a little relationship or romantic. Lately,
She's coming for people's necks every time.
I don't. It's always.
They make it so easy though. They just be out here with their neck poking out. You gotta come for it.
Now I'm not going to generalize all women.
Oh man, here we go.
But women love to do that.
They do.
Women love to just. Yeah.
Why do we have to have a neck roll with it?
And there's something.
Y'all come for people too though. You're
come for
Mr.
people?
Petty. Any moment you get a chance.
But I
Leave
feel
me the
like.
one to look at you and you like he has petty thoughts going on in his head right now.
But I think you're getting at a point though, because I feel like in general, guys we speak more positively about the idea of relationships.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Women,
I'd be like,
Can
peace,
you
happiness,
turn my
queen.
headphones down?
Peace, happiness, queen. You know what I'm saying?
and then women be like, get him out of here.
Yeah.
He ain't ish.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I feel like y'all feel like
He or she.
certain things y'all say are positive, but they have like a little
Undertone?
undertone. They got some shade in them. Like when y'all are like, oh, someone's before, she's trying to find herself, but really it's an undertone for like, she out there, bro. She kind of been.
Oh wait a minute. But okay.
But I was speaking to the actual core of the
It's like
issue
a low
though.
key. It's a low key.
But see,
diss. Women
that's
are
the
just
connotation.
like, this is what's going on.
That's the connotation.
He's
that
about
you're trying to
games,
take it in.
girl.
Yeah, but I don't really classify people as hoes and stuff like that though. Like, so if sexual promiscuity is not something that I feel like you should. I'm not judging that action. It's wherever the underlying stuff is that you want to deal with. Whatever you do is whatever you do. It's why you do it that's important. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
like,
you gotta feel me on that.
That's so poetic.
But
That's so
if you
poetically
were
correct.
talking to like your homeboy or homegirl, we're gonna get back to friends and giving warnings later on in the show.
Okay.
But if you
You
were
do
trying to
gotta.
just tell your homeboy, if I was trying to tell one of y'all, like, listen, I want to give you the heads up, put you up on game. Women would just explicitly say, for the most part that I've seen, hey, this is the situation.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 day, baby mama, here's what you need to know.
Yeah.
And like guys will be like, bruh, yeah, do you, but and then just walk away like it's like a proverb or something, like it's a parable. I don't know.
No. See, that's the problem right there. See, what you gotta understand is it's a guy code. Like we know we saying each other. Say, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? She may not.
Some people don't pick up on it though.
You're trying to pick up on it. That's the problem. You're trying to. We pick up on it. We know what's being said.
He got what I was
But then
saying.
I got what she.
Then
Yeah.
you're sitting there mulling over like, what did bruh mean?
No,
like,
stop.
instead of
No,
just
I know
asking
what bruh. No, I know what bruh meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew what he meant.
But you have to like clarify, like you were
I
like,
don't
yo,
need
but
to see.
what's
You're
really
trying,
going
see,
on?
this is the problem. Like
Yeah.
you're trying to clarify. You're trying to. You want all the details. Women want all the details.
But it
We
goes
don't
back
need all
to
the
communication though.
No.
Because it's like you could be saying, I don't know, bro, and I could have misinterpreted your for
See?
something else than it really meant.
Well, let me run one by you because
Okay.
this is a guy code question right
Okay,
here.
let's
and,
give an
and-
example.
and see if you feel this. Okay.
All right.
So our homeboy was riding. It was me, Lauren, and our homeboy riding yesterday, right?
Okay.
To Greensboro. There was another car. It was two girls in the car, right? And and when we went to a restaurant, our homeboy and the two girls, they were chatting it up, having a good time.
All right.
So we were going to the venue, and I was like, hey, bro, why don't you ride with them in the car?
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's like, see, he said, so he understands.
See,
when I say
yeah.
ride with them in the car,
Yes.
that's a good situation, right?
That's the setup.
It's
But-
basically
That's the
an
alley.
alley. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but, or is that disrespectful on my part for saying don't ride with us? What do you think?
No, but I don't feel like that was like you having to give him a warning though. That was just
But wait, where's the
So
guy?
but you caught that though.
yeah.
But I think anybody catch that.
I was
though. If you're
like,
not
I feel
catching
like
that, yeah. If you're not
It's
catching
not
that,
like I
that's-
would have been like, hey, you should try to talk to her right now. Get in the car with me.
Nah, you know what? I thought you.
just being
Nah,
smooth.
yeah, because
Yeah.
women, y'all do it. Oh, whoa, the way y'all do it is so beautiful. Wow, you
Like, you just
women,
start talking
you
in a
all
group.
are so amazing.
I don't know where
and
you
talented.
phase out.
You-
It's just you and the one person talking.
Oh no! But let me tell you how I was kind of set up the other day. Like, yo, like the two young ladies, they were at the grocery store, and one of them, like, I seen, you know how you peep out your peripheral when somebody kind of like they scanning you like a barcode, right?
Right.
And so I seen them, right, and then they came into the line, and she was like, oh, you know what? You stay right here in line. Stay right here. You know, she said it a few times. She emphasized you. Stay right here in line. I'll be right back. I'm going right here to pick up what I need.
All of this is happening in Whole Foods.
It goes down to Whole Foods.
Hey man, yo, shout out to Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I heard their prices went down. Is it true?
I ain't talking about the prices. Right
Oh,
now.
okay.
You go to your other podcast. Go to your other podcast. That we ain't talking about the podcast prices. I'm talking
Since
about.
they got
I'm
bought
talking
up, I
about the
heard their
nutrients I
prices.
see.
Yeah, you talking
Well,
about
I
the
mean,
nutrients be
if you
priceless.
go to Whole Foods, you're probably going to see a lot of people interested in wellness, though.
Yes.
Whereas
Yes.
if you're at Walmart, you're probably going to see people who may not be as interested
she
in wellness.
cleaned it up. She made a real like
Yeah,
that's
see,
a good point.
Because she like cause
People
you got a
interested
little
in
bit-
wellness
you
typically
got a
look
little
better.
bit of-
Yeah.
Man.
You take care of yourself, it's gonna show.
Hey man, go to the wellness. Yeah. Take care of yourself though.
You know what? I just thought about that. If
What's
you're gonna
up?
take care of your inside first, whatever's outside is gonna work out. You,
gotta-
know what I mean?
you gotta-
You'll get yourself together.
Hold
but
on. But wait, you got like I feel like you felt virtuous on that.
I did
Do
feel
you have
virtuous.
do you have
You
a
got a poetic
virtue
virtue for
to
instance.
help us guide? Because we always got to
Right.
start the show. This show is about creative. We like the slogan of it's called to create, action, and lead, but also learn. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
but with that, we want to create. We want to have something to motivate us through. So you got something to kind of get us through?
Yeah, man. My virtue this week is consistency.
Okay.
So this is so important, bro, because like you could start anything. Like we could start anything, but a lot of times the real progress comes from sticking with it. You know what I mean? Like, you might exercise the first time and you feel crazy. Like you feel like either you feel amazing, like you did that, or you know how you get a lot of results really quickly. Like say if you first start lifting weights, it might be hard to lift the bar,
Right.
but you can get from the bar to the 25 pounders on the side real easy. But eventually the increments of growth get smaller, but you got to be real consistent at that point if you want to continue to see improvement and grow. Because at the end of the day, we're all here for growth, and sometimes you got to push through and really get those results by staying.
Keep pushing at it.
Yeah,
Keep-
applying.
Right.
And one thing about consistency, the beautiful thing about it as an artist, the more you keep writing, the more you stay with it, the better you grow. Like I remember, I'm just looking at different things. I'm like, wow, how you came up with a metaphor then or a simile then. Now how you're rapping it with double entendres that it really makes people think, or it has so many different layers. It's like, wow, that was only a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But if you stop and go, then you have to pick back up, and then you may not go to that next level. It's like a Mario Brother.
Yeah.
It's like a ladder. You got to keep on. You can't just
Right.
start at the first level then think you're going,
Yeah.
Right.
chill
Yeah.
there.
Your accuracy definitely goes up as you continue doing things. I always go back to basketball because that was just like my roots, how I first learned about consistency.
You play basketball?
I used to. I played for like 10 years.
We gotta talk about
But
this,
like,
man.
I used no for real
Wow.
a long time. Love and Basketball was my movie.
played
I
at
just knew
J-Woo.
it. Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
I didn't make the
Oh,
team.
I forgot about this. You did.
That's a story in
You did
itself.
tell me about the basketball game. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Okay, we got to do some 3-on-3 maybe later.
Can I tell you about how I didn't make the team? We don't gotta talk about this now, but we can talk later.
We definitely want to hear about how you did not.
I did not make the
gotta,
team.
We got to come back to that. Maybe
2
a
different
PSA.
times. That could be our PSA. That could
Oh
be,
wow! Oh wow!
Twice.
PSA?
Yeah, we could do it for my PSA.
I bet.
All right, you guys got a good poetic service announcement coming up later in the show.
But yeah, you're talking about basketball teaching you consistency.
Oh yeah, like so the more often you shoot shots, Like you have a more likelihood of them going in.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Like that's why all these people slide up in people's DMs at once,
Man,
because at least one person's going to.
But
it's just pure like probability.
That's sloppy though. And you know what? To build off of what you're saying, I was in school and this guy was telling a story about how he would be at North Carolina Central, and then like you know how people in college they just chill outside and be like a line of girls. He would just go try to holler at everyone. He was like, 1 out of 10 gonna give me a phone number or something. I was like, bro, you really just
like it was a real stat.
Yeah.
1 out of 10 girls respond.
I think that's when your basketball analogy doesn't align with the whole idea of.
But
that's
if you're
volume
talking
shooting
about
right there.
Consistency for like practicing and things. So like if you keep shooting that same shot like on the court, not in the DMs, you're gonna eventually start to see like your arch get a little bit better. You're gonna see the likelihood of the shot going in a little bit more. When you shoot like 100 shots, you're getting used to being in that position. So that's why the flow comes a bit smoother. Like you were saying, it's easier to do a metaphor or something because you know this. You're in your bag. Like you're just so used to doing this work. So just being consistent with it really helps a lot and helps to fit it into your routine, which we'll get into later. But it's just really critical when I started being consistent with stuff. I was able to actually grow, like you were saying, and see my progress over time. When you kind of pick up a weight for like 1 day or 1 week, and then you step away for like 3 weeks, come back. Yeah. You're not really going to be seeing your results. And I feel like that just doesn't really keep me encouraged to keep working on something.
Right.
Yeah, and definitely with that too, along with it being the artist or in business, marketing, keep being consistent wires with your fans, with your followers, with your customers, because one thing about it, you hate somebody that's on and off. You hate somebody that's a little shady. You don't really know if they're there. Really, what's going on? Are you gonna? What are you gonna provide to us? How can we depend on you, especially when you're starting off? Now, when you get to a certain point, I'm looking at your shirt, Andre 3K.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna ride with him. We're gonna ride with
day.
him. You know, you could drop a verse or drop an album today. We're gonna go for you. But when they started off, they had to hit that circuit as far as performing. They had to put out those albums. You couldn't just do a verse a year like what he's doing now, or verse every 2 years. No, he had to keep pushing and keep putting it out.
I'm happy you brought up the marketing piece because it's you never know what day someone's gonna scroll on your Instagram. Someone's gonna come across the podcast. Shameless plug, poetically correct. But you never know what episode they're gonna see. So you want to make sure every episode is on point. Every performance, you're always doing your best when you're out there, whether it's music, every painting, whatever your art form is, like just being consistent with the type of work too. You don't want to just do some low-lying work, and then that's when the exec was there. That's when the person who could have put you on was there.
You know what's crazy?
What's up?
I was just talking to my man Benji Sicko. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Benji. Stay nappy.
Stay nappy. Nappy life. #. He was talking about how people out here like saying like we're not performing at venues like Madison Square Garden or stuff like that with poetry, whatever. And he was saying like that's because we don't appreciate our own art on that level. Like if we were out here performing at these venues, like we belong in those places, people would make those places for us. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like sometimes we come with open mic poems and we want to see ourselves in Madison Square Garden doing the poetry. But you got to really be thinking and making moves on those type of levels. You got to know you're that big. Almost like expanding your vision. Because that's one thing I was getting. I went to this thing this week where they were talking about, shout out to the Arts and Science Council, shout out to Damon Wesley, but he was talking about how if you have this idea and it's big enough for you to do it yourself, you need to expand it. You need to expand your idea to the point where it's like, and this is not consistency anymore, but you need to expand it to the point where you need to have other people teaming up with you. You need to be getting grants and stuff like that. What's the big vision, the one that seemed crazy to do, and how do you work towards that instead of the one that you can just do
consistently? Maybe even talking with other people or trying to get feedback from others. I feel like I have to remind myself about being consistent on that, because you're in your head always going to be like, oh, this is fire, this is popping, but consistently getting feedback and not just performing at the open mic or whatever your art form is and getting snaps or applause, but actually talking with trusted friends or like confidants or people in your circle that are also artists and being like, hey, what did you think about this? Just to get feedback and be able to even grow.
And go ahead.
Even deeper than, like, even simpler than that.
Okay.
Sometimes being consistent is something I need to work on. Just being on time. Just showing up. Just,
that's a word of the
or
day
even
for
being
me.
consistent about the level of effort you put towards each particular project, because sometimes that reputation of being consistent can get you opportunities.
That's
I know
so
you're
true.
reliable, so I want to work with you.
Reliability is an accountability.
Yes.
It lets people know that they can trust you.
Even with people following your account, it'll keep it, like maybe at an event you shout out your social media. If you don't really have new stuff, some people will unfollow.
I don't. You know what's crazy? I don't follow you if you're an artist and you're not constantly posting.
Really?
Yeah.
I follow a lot of artists, and I do even if
And when I
do,
say constantly post, I pause you.
Yeah.
I mean like if you had one post this month and then like your last post was back in November, then before that was like August.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm not no.
yeah,
What am I following you for?
I feel that. Like even if you are still continuing to follow them, they're not going to show up on your
Unless
timeline.
I personally know unless
Unless
I
they're
personally
putting
know
stuff
you.
up.
Yeah, unless I personally know you because then nah. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to show me your worth. Like you showing me how serious you take your work, and that's the other thing with
Right.
consistency. It lets people know how serious you are. For me, in order for you to take me serious, and I know that I want you to take me serious, I gotta take myself serious. And to take myself serious, I have to constantly be working. And the importance about showing that you're constantly working, it shows the process. Today, understand like the market and understand how we consume things. We like to see the process. We like to be part of the experience.
So true.
Right? So we want to ride with you even when you were just starting off with this part, writing this certain type of way, being able to barely even flow, even before you had your voice and before you came all sexy with the voice. You know what I'm saying? You were a little
The
high
octave
pitched.
switched up.
Yeah, exactly. Before you could switch up, you were just like, I love you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Now you
Throwback Thursday. We want to see the throwback.
Yeah. Oh
Throwback.
man, do I have some throwbacks? And now you coming off the mic like, here, let me tell you something here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like you able to break it down, but
When the mic fell that one time.
oh man.
Everybody has that moment.
Yeah, but
You couldn't get the mic stand up.
Oh, yo, and we all have had the moment where you couldn't get. It's like, hold
You
on,
struggling with the mic stand, people looking at you.
I ain't did one of these in a while. Then you over there jacking the mic stand off.
And you know how when you rub, like you know how you moving the mic and like you hear the ruffling of the mic.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just sounds
That's the
awkward.
word.
It just sounds awkward.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. But meanwhile, y'all
Yeah.
can follow me. Oh,
When you were too close. That
Yeah.
one person that like does so
Yo.
many different things around the mic and will be
Oh
like,
my
snap.
gosh.
Yeah.
No,
Let me stop.
no, hold on. What about the person that gets to the mic? They just talking to you. Trying to get this right here. Hold on. How y'all feeling tonight, though? So then they start getting mad with. Hey, ladies, make some noise real quick. Hey. I'm trying to get this joint right here. Hey, fellas, y'all know.
The one that like still does all this stuff with the mic, like, oh, let me get it. This is a tricky. Oh, it's so funny when you go up to, and they're like, actually, I don't need this.
Yeah, they get rid of the mic.
After
Yeah.
all of that,
They
so
just
you
give
already
up.
know.
Yo, I've definitely done that. I don't think I need this right now. We're gonna do this acapella. Yeah.
Try to play it off.
I don't think I need this right now.
But when you're speaking about incorporating people in the process,
Yes.
I'm so excited for you to introduce like the new part of the show because we're gonna incorporate like our
Yes.
viewers and listeners into our process.
Yes.
Yeah.
More the viewers, so that's more incentive for you to follow on the Instagram Poetically Correct, so you can be a part of voting.
Yes.
But go ahead and let them know about the new part.
Well, I'm okay. So let's know about everything because this may be your first time watching. This may be your first time listening or whatever. But
give them a little index.
yeah,
What's
we
coming up
want to
next.
provide some substance. So we start off with a poetic virtue, something to not just mellow out the show, but uplift the show, bloom it. We're a flower, right? And a flower, even though it's raining outside, we need that rain. So Rome comes in with the rain, as far as to get the soil right, and so we can bloom with this virtue and bloom with our poetic thoughts. Then we like to mix in with our writer's block. You see how that kind of rhymes and flows together? You see, we come in with our writer's block because as artists, we get to these points where yes, we want to create. Yes, we have these thoughts and expressions and emotions we want to put out into the world. But damn it, yo, I may not know how to start this shit.
Right.
Or I may not. I need a little something different to spice up my writing. I need something different to spice up how I perform. I need something different. Oh, how do I rhyme like this? How do I fix my cadence like this? So we have writer's block. Mariah coming with something different to help us as artists, as writers.
Yeah.
Then we have a message that we want to uplift in society. As poets, sometimes I think our voice can either kill or uplift, or kill or uplift. Yeah, bring positivity or negativity.
Right.
So as
Life and death, power of the tongue.
Exactly, power of the tongue is stronger than the sword because you can birth life. With a sword, you can't birth life. So with that being said, we have poetic justice where we talk about things going on in society and we want to bring it and uplift the society and certain little things, major things, government, local government, whatever it could be in your community, whatever, bring some action. A lot of people do jargon, talk about this going on. I don't like this. I don't like that. Shut up. What are you going to do about it? That's what we want to do. I'm about action. Now, don't tell me about what you want to do. Show me. Come on, baby. Show me what you working with. You know what I'm saying? And then we go into that. We get down to the nitty gritty. I'm giving you the layout. It's like the table of contents of the show because it's so much power, yo. All right. And so we get down to it really sonically sonically correct. That's when we get to really learning why you're listening to something. We're talking about musically with music. Why do you really like that song? I got something today. We're going to talk about something because we all know the term, but we don't. Some of us know why we know the term, and some of us don't know why we know the term. So I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
But learning pretty much sonically a lot of people get things, industry labels, they may trick us. It's a trick far as, or a formula how musically something works. And we're saying, why does that song just get stuck in my head? Or why do I like this song? We're understanding the true efforts of how it's produced and how it comes together. Then we have new and bringing to the stage. Oh, hold on. Forgetting one more real quick. Legal easel. Now, the legal easel is something what we talk about as artists. So many different legalities that we have to know as far as artists, whether it's copywriting, where it's knowing how to publish a book, where it's so many different things you need to know legally as an artist, as far as slander, defamation, that you just out here doing your little art. I mean to say little because I always think little shade, but doing your art, your big art, big time. And you could be out here doing something that may go against the grain, where it has put some eyes on you, know. So we're gonna talk about that as well, and keeping and knowing how to keep other people's to respect the eyes of what you're doing. So I get into that later. But then also, our new one is poetic polling. So that is all about where we come up with a topic and we poll, well, not a poll, but we give our opinions, our expressions, or our thoughts on what we think about as far as a different topic or whatever. And then we're going to put it out to you all and see, yay, nay, or what do you think about the subject? And we'll get a polling from that.
Yes.
And we'll let you know how it comes out.
And then we have PSAs. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is... Yeah. Like that. But then we have our PSAs because...
That was like a mix of Jay-Z and Eminem. Like, my name is...
Wow, that would be dope if it kind of like mixed in like
it
that.
Was.
Y'all want to mix that joint right now?
Yeah, I really want to hear
that was
now.
fresh. But so last two things is our PSAs. But then we also PSAs basically. We got some shit get off our chest. I got some shit to say. Mariah got some shit to say. Rome got some shit to say. Yep. We got to get off our chest because some of y'all BSing and we calling y'all out to the table. We're bringing you down to the altar.
I'm ready to hear Rome today.
Yes. Rome got one. Mariah got one. Oh, do I have one too? And I got it correct. I thought about this so I could say it just right. So I got it. Oh yes, I got it.
I feel like Lee's life happens in
Lee's
PSAs. Like I'm like it's constant
like,
PSA. I'm like you're always seeing something.
That's
cool
like the most
going on.
consistent thing, right?
So that, and then the icing on the cake is we love impromptu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rome comes with the freestyling, and I got something for your ass today because Rome came onto the show when we first started doing this. He freestyled like it was just willy nilly, nothing.
It's just cake.
Dropping.
Like,
I'm a dragon, I'm a fire, and they do this, and I take you higher. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Rome DiCarlo. I don't have to. I know I'm just so smooth with the mic. Man, shut up, shut up, Rome. You know today I got. I'm about to stump you. I'm gonna see how really nice you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm ready.
There's always a troll.
Yeah. And then, but you also gonna see. I want you to stump us too. So we have something where we do impromptu.
Don't go too hard on me because you saw who was shading you.
Oh.
No, we ready. I'm ready for the impromptu.
And we finish off with impromptu poetry. So. Man, that's a lot goes on.
It is.
It's a lot, but we want to provide you substance about art.
Right.
So let's get into this writer's block, y'all.
Okay, I'm ready. Are y'all? So writer's block, excited to bring some new ideas for this week. So hopefully so far you guys have been feeling the writer's block. Definitely give feedback on if there's something you feel like you want to talk to or a topic that helps you when you're trying to write. So in the same vein of what Rome's talking about, we're going to be talking about consistency and making your art a part of your routine. So I feel like a lot of the times with us being artists, a lot of us are broke poets. A lot of us are broke artists. We have another job, a hustle, if you will, that keeps our art on the back burner sometimes. We're so passionate about it, but we don't get to go in and clock in like a 9-to-5 job. So you kind of have to structure your day, your week, your month to have time allotted to working towards your passion so that eventually that can be your full-time job. That can be a side career, or even maybe your full-time career. I've seen people transition from working, a professional job and doing poetry on the side to actually being able to be a full-time poet. but that doesn't happen overnight. You have to work at it like it's your job. So a big thing that I like to do is just having scheduling out for the day. Even if it's okay, consistently, I can do 2 hours a day. I can do 30 minutes a day. A very close poet friend of mine, shout out to D. Conlon, definitely check her out. Haitian poet out here doing it big in New York. She actually has a thing where it's just for 365. So every single day of a year, she did something towards her art. Now, I thought this was so crazy, but I actually was able to take it on, and it wasn't as overwhelming as I initially thought. So here, I'll give you an example. Say we're just talking about 1 week out of the year where you start this, right? And it's not too late. The year's still fresh. Even though it's February, very beginning of the year, you can still do this. Say it's the first week. So Monday, you had a really long day. Nobody likes Mondays. There always should be canceled in my mind. So it's just like you can only do maybe a quick haiku or a quick poem, and you just write one out and you put it, that's content right there, and you put that out on your Instagram or in your Twitter or whatever it is. The next day, on Tuesday, you have a little bit more time, break on your job or after work, you decide, okay, I'm actually going to work on my delivery for 3 pieces right now and just run through a set really quickly in my mirror. This takes you maybe 30 minutes. Then that Wednesday, you're already midway through the week. That Wednesday, you decide to do something else. Maybe you need to work on your logo. You need to update your website. You even could go out to an open mic and perform. If you're a painter, you could work day by day on doing different layers of your painting. Just whatever your medium is, working through that. Maybe on Thursday, you're actually talking with other artists in your collective, planning different events and things you want to do. Friday, you're out there on the scene. Maybe you have a show or something. Saturday, even again, if Saturdays are usually busy for people, they run a lot of errands. Maybe that's a day that you're also writing and doing content. And then for Sunday, maybe you're doing a dope podcast called Poetically Correct. I know I'm not going to say that was my past week, but again, just try to challenge yourself. Even if you can't do the full 365 and commit, try to go for a week or try to go for a month. Because again, if you want this to be like your job, this your passion, your career, you really should be doing something positive to work towards it each day if you can. And we all have like even 5 minutes, 30 minutes. You don't have to write out a whole poem, but I know for me, especially when you're an artist, you think of content or themes that you want for poems, and I have like just notes where like I'll just write, okay, I thought of this, like what if I wrote a series? I'm not gonna tell y'all because that's content, but I'll just put it out there, and write it in a note so I can go back to it later and flesh it out.
Okay.
But yeah, just try to keep that consistency up, because as artists, we get a spark of fire, we go really hard for that particular piece or that particular show, and then maybe you go on hiatus because you're just not thinking of it in that mindset of, this is a job, but this is your passion and you want to keep growing. And it's like a muscle, like any other thing. The more you write, the more you practice doing spoken word, you practice painting, you practice b-boying, whatever your thing is, the better you're going to get at it.
1%.
Yeah, right.
1% better. And
right.
1% better just means, look, today I worked on this, tomorrow, or it could just be, today I rhymed with this word, tomorrow, and we're talking about the basics, right? But then 1% better can also mean today I just made a post, one post.
Right.
Or tomorrow I don't really have to make the post, but I'm working on what I want to post for. So like Monday, I actually post something. Tuesday, I'm working on what I'm going to post Wednesday.
Right.
You see, it's becoming 1% better. It's really that just takes 1 minute. If you really love your craft.
It doesn't even have to take 10 minutes, 30 minutes. It could be a minute.
The pressure we put on ourselves, and we all do this, the pressure we put on ourselves to make something so great, when really it's just about, sometimes it's about the delivery and just the content and just being there. Like we talk about consistent, everything's aligning up today. It's sometimes just being there. You know what I'm saying? You could be sick right now, Rome, but you're here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you're here. Last night we put on. You know what I'm saying? We put on. We had Shalair. I'm calling her Shalair.
Shout out to Shalair.
That's Shalair, man.
Hey, Coco Shalair.
Shout out to Abstracts for a great event.
Yeah, shout out to Abstracts for a great event.
And Greensboro and 704.
Yeah, man. It was amazing. Rome rocked out. I was able to rock out. And it was just about being there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just need to be in the place. Sometimes it's not even about performing somewhere. It's just showing up, because you can now meet someone. You may even grab a little pointers. Now you can connect with people. So it's like show up.
Facts.
I went to a pop-up shop yesterday that they had in 704, and I didn't perform or anything, but I was just getting names of brands and just finding out about other local artists. And it's like even just following them on social media, expanding your network right there.
Expanding it like that.
That's lit.
Did you have anything you want to finish with that?
Yes.
Nah, man. I just want to say you poured it directly into how I feel.
I know
like,
it aligned, and we didn't even plan for that.
And that transitioning into being a full time and doing something every day to work towards what you were passionate about. I think that's.
And it's art, but like
it makes me want to go home and plan. Like you gonna make me go home and plan it
That's
out.
what we want to do with this show. Period. Matter of fact, we want to make you feel like when you hear this. Oh damn it! Let me actually pause the show. Let me pause the show and start doing some shit. Let me pause it on YouTube where you can subscribe to Poetically. let me pause on either I'm listening on my podcast on Apple, SoundCloud, wherever. Let me just pause because damn y'all giving so many gems. I need to slow y'all down and I need to actually work on something. That's what we want to do.
And I love that you were talking about not beating yourself up because I feel like that's just a thing for folks of color. Like I feel like I'm never doing enough, but it's okay to just do, tiny little bite-sized pieces on other, and maybe the next day you're doing a meal. Every single time I feel like if I can't sit down for an hour, I didn't really do much today. But it's like you don't always have to be able to commit the whole day or like even half your day. Sometimes it's as easy as, like you said, doing a small post or even planning to put your content out slowly that you already created when you had more free time. So you could do a post a day, but you already wrote these posts 10 days ago, but you just created a bunch of posts so that you can do it over time.
Smart. Yeah.
So there's ways. It's kind of meal prepping for poetry.
Content creating. Have a content calendar. One thing I use in business is we have a digital calendar. We have a marketing calendar. Things that we want to post when it's going to go out for the whole month, for the scheduled week, for each time. You can get down to that, but just having a calendar and a content of what you want to put out and how you want to put it out there. I always say how I start my days, and one may say this is kind of crazy. I have to make a checklist of everything I want to do in a day because my mind, if I check something off,
feels good.
Oh, it feels great. You know what I'm saying? I just checked it off. Yes. But also at the same time, I know I can see my day ahead of me. Yeah, you may know some shit in your head. Yeah, you may have things planned out in your head. But when you see it in front of you, like boom, boom, boom. Oh, I actually got this. All I gotta do today. Oh, I got time. Then you realize, this is what I gotta do today. Let me scale off some things. Prioritize what needs to really go and pop off.
I need to be getting this preach to word right now. For a moment, for the last 2 weeks, I went off of my checklist days, and it's so different because it just can get kind of jumbled in your head when you don't have it visualized out there. I even like to write it on my mirror with a little dry erase marker sometimes, and it's woo. Yeah. When you actually cross those things off at the end, or you see what's left, even it's okay. I can prioritize something else for tomorrow.
And speaking about artists, as we go into our legal easel, because when you got the easel up, you got your pop.
Yeah.
These segues today, they're too on point.
The pop.
If you were at Artist Block last night, then you
got
that. Then you caught the pop.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to talk about this week, with far as being an artist and creating, we talked about sometimes with copyright and trademarks, but also understand what are moral rights. So I want to read this. This was Harvard Law School, and they talked about right here. This was written by Betsy Rosenblatt from Harvard Law School. And so So you're probably asking, what the hell is a moral right? Because we think about morals. Well, isn't that aligned with your beliefs and your religion or whatnot? No. So let me break this down. The term moral rights is a translation of the French term droit moral. Droit. Say that in your sleep. Droit. And refers not to morals as advocated by the religious right, but rather to the ability of authors to control the eventual fate of their works. An author is said to have the moral right to control his or her work. The concept of moral rights thus relies on the connection between an author and his or her creation. Moral rights protect the personal and reputational rather than purely monetary value of work to its creator. So, pretty much, when I read that and I looked at that, it's
can you use it in a sentence?
A lot said there. So one thing I focused on was let's start where it stopped off, far as not on the monetary value, but pretty much based on the creator's value. So, Mariah.
Chopping block.
Yes. You post something on your page, right?
Right.
You say the sky is blue on Tuesdays. Right, I'm just making up something.
Yeah,
the sky's blue on Tuesdays, right? And I say, I like that, what she did right there. I put it on my page, and I say, the sky is blue on Tuesdays.
Okay.
Now, you never copyrighted that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But morally, you created that. That's morally based on the creation of your work. If I don't shout you out, then it's about the morality of respecting your reputation as an author, as a creator. You know, because of the reputation for which you've built on your work and the reputation you've built on the work that you just created. So, yo, you see things all the time. Yo, you out there stealing something and not you reposting and you not shouting the person out who you just reposted it. That's not being moral to the creator. You see what I'm saying?
I'm so happy you explained this. I had a total misunderstanding.
Okay, right. So that's what I'm saying. You're not being morally correct to who created it and how it was created. Nothing had to do with money. Nothing had to do with anything as far as you licensing something. It's just
like you knew that was wrong.
It's about citing your resources. So let me also read this part too, because you know, in the United States, now we're going because we are here in the U.S. In the United States, the term moral rights typically refers to the right of an author to prevent revision, alteration, or distortion of his or her work, regardless of who owns the work. You see, moral rights are outlined as vara. Also allow an author of visual work to avoid being associated with works that are not entirely his or her own to prevent the defacement of his or her works.
I could see that with visual art where people, you know, may recreate the image but change a person's face or whatever it might be. Even if you think about something as simple as Bart Simpson. So sometimes people recreate him another color or a different shape, and it's kind of like, okay, like I guess you could see that as kind of defacing the art in a way. Yeah. But
another example I heard before was like, say if you were like a gospel artist, and then like some heavy metal band took your lyrics from a gospel song and flipped it to make it, you know, against what you meant, what you intended for it.
You know, the moral of what you had into that. Right. You're now flipping that. So it kind of starts off, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? But then that's why we want to break it down. And real quick, so what sources of law govern moral rights? You know, how do you really govern morality?
Yes.
But this is the good part. You know, here in the U.S., going back to this again, in the U.S., moral rights are primarily protected by VARA. So VARA is the act of what we just described right there, as far as the visual work of the artist and whatnot. Before VARA was passed, courts and commentators struggled to find moral rights in the derivative work provision of the Copyright Act. The laws of defamation, the rights of privacy, publicity. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, what did I just do there?
Nah, I mean,
just used to
all right. Anyway, moving right along, the doctrine of misappropriation and especially the Lathan Act. So these are just some different acts that talk about, as far as helping support. It's the act of having more responsibility or more accountability of who owns the project or owns the art piece itself, and at least showing it's kind of like citing your sources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at least if you're going to change something, I would say this: if you're going to change something or alter anything, get permission first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if we were going to use sometimes we gotta get back to doing that too, using the poets onto our show, as far as just to show them spitting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We would ask that person, hey, whether we think it's dope or not, just before we repost it and put it out here, they may not want it put out into the world.
Right.
So we would ask that, hey, do you mind, if we post this out there? You know, people ask me when they see some of my work, do you mind if we would love to post this? Yeah, cool. Because you see something dope, you think it may be innocent, and this is to a lot of people in business. You may have a customer that's wearing your product. They have your T-shirt on. You're wearing apparel clothing. They have one of your T-shirts on. Ask them before you just see them on their gram, because you somehow they had it even though they had a hashtag. Oh, I got my T-shirt at so and so graphics. Even though they had a hashtag, ask them, hey, we would love to repost you, because that's the moral of their content that you're taking now from them. So. Yeah, just breaking that on. Skirt.
No, that's dope.
Yeah,
I'm glad you shed light on that.
Yeah,
I learned something.
That's what we want to do. We want to learn something.
We out here getting educated.
Right.
Educated.
Right.
Oh, man. So.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday?
On a Sunday.
School on a Sunday.
I want to play something real quick that I think we all love.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. We're on Broadway. This is how I like to segue into something when you're not fully prepared. You kind of have to,
finesse it.
You have to finesse it with
in your Broadway voice.
Yes, that is my Broadway. So when you see me in New York performing live,
all right. If you were on a Broadway show, what show would it be?
A Broadway show.
Yes, I love Broadway.
I don't know enough Broadway shows to contribute to this.
Yo, I went to I went to Motown. I really love Motown. And
okay.
Speaking of Motown, hold on.
Oh, sonically correct.
This how we do it right here. Hold on. I want to.
Hey, smooth.
Yeah. So you hear that right there?
Yeah.
You hear that?
If you hear that right there, and you're in Poetic Lee's apartment.
If you, hey, let me tell you right now. You hear that right now? You hear that?
I'm
You in my apartment?
That Rome is here with me, so I'm saying.
Hey, I'm hot like an
Had to
oven.
do
But
it.
we're
Had
gonna,
to
hey,
do
we're
it.
gonna, hey, I want to bring it back though. So this week, I think it's something we hear a lot of. The 808, right?
Right.
Okay.
You're familiar
This
with
is
the
true.
808.
Yes.
You're familiar with the 808. But do you know what the 808 is?
So I kind of have heard of like.
And I'm
how
not trying to
it's
put you on the spot,
Yeah,
but I just
no, no.
want. But I think. Oh, go ahead.
So there was like a music independent group that would kind of like just focus on having 808s and just hooks with their
Okay.
music. So I was just familiar with. Shout out to them. They go by Voodoo, but they would just have all of their music would be stripped down to just having an 808. So that's just what I was familiar with.
Okay.
Like they would just
Okay.
have that, and it
That's
was
not
very.
bad, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is what that is specifically.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, and then everyone knows 808 and Heartbreaks. I mean,
Everyone
Kanye.
knows 808. Yes. What about you? When were you first introduced to 808?
It's a, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a drum kit, like a drum pattern, right?
Definitely
Like
a drum.
TR 808.
Yeah.
There you go. So you actually took the words right out of my mouth. The TR 808, introduced by Roland as one of the. It came out in the 1980s, and it was one of the first drum machines to give you not an analog sound. Because
Right.
typically drum kits and machines, and we're getting to the producer talk right now, are they giving you a pre-recorded, pre-sampled drum. So like you hear doom. It could come from like a James Brown band. You know, that piece has been cut, and a lot of times these brands, they cut their drum kits. They cut, now for new producers, you have the Mike Will kit, or you have the. I know when I was growing up, everyone wanted to get on Fruity Loops and get the Little John kit.
Oh my God.
Yo, you wanted that Little John kit
Yeah.
or the Dr. Dre kit because his drums are just so amazing, right?
Yeah.
His drums. So, but the thing about the 808 in that machine, in which they discontinued, and it was like only like a limited piece. But the
Right.
thing about makes that sound so unique is it's an analog sound, so it's pretty much generated off the digital. It's not off any pre-recorded or pre-sampled drums. That's truly digital generated. So when you hear, I want to start over right here. And the reason I'm playing this song right here, not only is it one of my favorite little, it's like gloomy weather. I got the candles lit. It's not only one
When he
of
needs
those.
to finesse the situation, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Set
yes,
the mood.
yes. But when you listen to that right there, actually Marvin Gaye was one of the first. It's one of the most popular songs using the 808, and when it actually first came out, it was one of the first main songs to use the 808 or this sound right here. That now history with this real quick because I love Marvin Gaye. That's like I want to be the Marvin Gaye of poetry.
Yeah.
That's like just
Yeah,
that's
I
me.
could see that.
But
I could see that.
Marvin Gaye really he was attracted to the sound because he didn't have to worry about using a band. He could create it without using a band or using their samples or anything like that. He could just create the sound purely from what it. And it's kind of crazy when it first came out, the 808 wasn't really like that. Yeah. You're hearing the disco tunes, you're hearing the certain tunes, but it really wasn't like that. Now you see it in hip hop heavy. People, and the reason I'm building up to what the 808 is, so understand what that sound is. So the sound right here, when you hear I'm gonna come back to it right here. Hold on. Now that part right there, because you have several different things going to an 808, right? As far as the machine itself, you have the clap, you have the congo, you have the snare, the kick.
Right.
So you hear that. Dun, that dun. You hear that dun dun right there. That's such a pure. That's analog right there. You have some drum machines that used in somebody else's band and that pure sound of how the bass kicks or whatnot. And the importance of really knowing what you're listening to. That's why I want to talk about the 808 because you always hear the 808, that trap sound. So
Right.
you fast forward and just you listen to like a Mike Will made it song or someone of that nature, and you're listening to how they have it now. Like if you listen to this song right here, hold on, I had it ready right here. Wait a minute.
It's so crazy how aligned the show has been today, though, because
Yeah.
we
Talk
were just
about
talking
Marvin
about
Gaye.
Marvin Gaye. Yeah,
Were we talking about Marvin Gaye?
Yeah, we were talking about Marvin
What
Gaye.
we
we were
talking
talking
about?
about what was
that's one
on
of her favorite
our
artists.
music playlist right now. I was like, our Marvin Gaye for sure.
What's like some of your favorite songs that use the 808?
And didn't you?
I would never even have thought about Marvin Gaye, but I love this song.
Yeah, that's why I
like
want to take it back
I
to that.
was familiar with the 808, but I'm just so used to hearing it in hip hop. I'm trying to think of what other favorite songs. I do really love Voodoo as far as an independent group. Two guys.
That's the one you were talking about that really got you introduced to that.
And they actually have the old school machine and like play it sometimes at shows and stuff.
I don't know enough about who specifically used 808s.
Well, I want to take you to a song right here that I think we all would know.
Okay.
808s and Heartbeat. I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, yeah.
Now hold on.
Yeah.
I have to fast forward because not yet.
Yeah, because it takes a while.
Yes.
This is
Oh my gosh.
I took it
Everybody
back.
knew this.
Yeah, I took it back to this song right here because it was one of the most popular songs in that era that really just came and let the kick in the air. And so it's not normally we've talked about in the past like how to find your pocket and really rap on something.
Yeah.
This time just having a sonic ear and know what you're listening to as far as understand the terminology out here. You know, people just say 808. So I thought to me it's just entertaining, interesting to know, okay, what is the 808? Where does this name even come from? Well, it comes from the drum machine that really started the sound that really wasn't popular. And then Marvin Gaye jumped on it and it was made a popular song, African Boombada.
Yes.
So if you know Planet Rock, it's heavily used in that. Boom. You know, I will play it, but
and if you don't know who that is, there's definitely some info out there. Especially, I think Netflix even had a documentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
I might check that out.
So, yeah, that was really just want to talk about the 808, talk about its importance on the culture, how hip hop is taking it, and that is understand the trap sound that you hear now, and understand where it came from, and that what you listen to that boom. Boom.
People like being able to bob their head to it.
But why do they like to bob their heads?
Yeah.
No.
Just because the 808.
Yeah,
like
it's the feel.
That beat at the end.
Yeah.
And how the bass booms in your car, I think, makes a big difference.
We love that.
Sometimes when you hear a song on like your phone or something, and then you hear it in the car, that's a completely different feel and experience when it's in your car.
There's some stuff you gotta listen to in the car.
Right.
You can't listen to it just on your phone.
Those subs come alive.
Yeah, come alive. You gotta let the subs come alive.
You gotta let them come alive.
Yeah.
And so, but that whole bop and that feel comes from the energy. You know, we talk about energy all the time, and the vibrations, kinetic energy, right there. When you listen to music, we create this. The theater of the mind is with music, right? So that's why when you listen to music, it's good to make an imagery with it. When you think of that 808, you think you want to hear it boom. When you think of that boom, hip hop comes from it comes from such a rebellious state.
And
right?
the emotions
And so when you hear that boom, it adds to the emotions of what you're trying to say. It adds to the emotions of how you're trying to project what you want to say. And that's why the 808s have been important in hip-hop, because it's been able to help with our rebellious state. It's been able to help with our fiery fury, you know what I'm saying? And been able to help with how we want to be intense with the record. So
Yeah. And one last thing, it was like tying it back with the consistency.
Oh, wow.
That 808 is just so consistent too. You kind of just know when it's like if you're trying to, even when you're listening to the song, you know it's gonna hit at this certain moment, the beat's gonna drop at that time. That's good for dancing, that's good for running, just in general. Like I think we like repetitious things, so it definitely gets somebody to feel it,
get them moving,
right?
Moving and grooving.
You just don't have to be surprised, like you consistently know what's coming next.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
you just
man.
program that thing and just
start
cranking out. Yeah, just vibe out, man.
Yeah,
we're all getting flashbacks to our favorite 808s.
Yeah, man. Just think about it. And the popular, and it was just revived with this name, was Kanye. Him naming the album 808s and Heartbeat, and him using that throughout the whole album. Boom, boom, boom.
That song.
I should have played that song. That was probably
I remember when he came on. I don't know what award show that was, but when he premiered that song at a particular.
MTV?
It might have been MTV.
Yeah.
I just remember like, what is this sound? Yeah.
No, Runaway.
No.
I'm in love with you.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I don't even know what the name.
But you know
the
song.
Love Lockdown.
But you know
Love Lockdown.
That's
exactly what it was.
You know the song we talking about. Yeah. So I mean, shoot, man. Rome dancing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't know if you had a different. I didn't know if you had a different headset.
He was like, "Is music playing?" I don't know.
We're like, wait, I don't hear that through the headphones.
I was just thinking about it.
Turn my headphones up.
That is funny, yo. But moving along.
Yes.
So many things to talk about. So many things to break down.
So many things to break down.
We talk about the legalities of being an artist. We talk about creating as an artist, realigning yourself, the consistency of being an artist. Man, everything's just going to line.
Right.
But as artists, we're humans first. as people were people. As people were people. I don't know how.
People were people.
As people were people.
As people were mammals.
That's
the quote of the show right there.
Yo,
as people were people.
Yo, that's gonna be the title.
We need to get as people were people.
As people were. Yo, that's some shit you say at a poetry show. And
Right.
Like,
People just think about it.
Yeah. Yo, I'm using that. I'm gonna start off my next.
You put it on a
people
t-shirt.
with people.
Yeah, and people gonna be
Just
like,
leave somebody like just
they gonna be
reading
like,
your. What does that mean?
That brother deep right there.
Right.
As people were people.
But no, as we get on the, there has to become there is like a serious kind of tote what we have to the show because we're nimble like that. We can go from laughing, but it's some business we had to take care of as well. So as people were people, and we go through different situations.
Right.
Right.
We there's you never know what can be right around the corner waiting for you, and I say waiting for you because that's how life is. Nothing we know is around the corner. We don't know what's next. Sometimes we can plan everything out, but you never know how that's gonna go. True. So you could be walking to the store one day and somebody robs you. Someone broke into my car earlier this week.
Damn.
And it was,
man.
Yeah, it's kind of, but it was kind of whack on my part because I didn't lock the door, and so I thought I did. Not only did somebody run in my, break into my car, then yesterday somebody had a hit and run on the back of my car. So I'm like, dang, so you never know.
You gotta dodge that negative energy, man.
Right.
Oh, man. Hey,
I feel like anytime you're at a low, a high is coming soon. Though.
Word.
I'm a hope for that.
But I don't look at it low though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you can't take what's inside of me.
True.
That's
Right.
inside. That's physical. You know what I'm saying? You can't take what's inside
That's
of me. So I'm
facts,
here.
bro.
I'm here. I'm pumping.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
More power to you.
But if it had been more critical, something may have happened to me, and I was left in a state where I need to contact somebody. I need to know who I can contact.
Absolutely.
Obviously,
Right.
we know we can dial 911, right? In certain situations. But I think it's important as just young people, sometimes even older people, and no matter who you are, to understand who's that group around us that we can hit up when there's a tragic situation going on.
Right.
Yes, we've got the main one out the way, 911. We got that one out the way. But if there's something tragic or something else going on, we need to hit up. I need to help Mariah. I need to help Rome. I need to help whoever my mom. What signal can we give to them, and what group do we have that we can contact and let them know, hey, we talk to them? Because sometimes we don't like to talk to our friends about real serious shit.
Right.
Like what happens if I die? I've talked. My mom and I have talked about this. Some things that need to happen. It's some things that we have to talk about, some serious things, and say, hey, this.
Who has your power of attorney?
Things like that. And if something happens and I'm sending you this signal, I need help ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Especially people in college. If something happens, come to my dorm room ASAP. Contact somebody ASAP.
Right.
If I give you this look, or if I'm saying this type of word, it means if I'm on the phone and I'm saying this, and because you could be out and about. It doesn't have to be anything critical yet. You could be walking up the streets. You live in a major city. You walking up the streets. You get on the phone. You see some shady people around you. You get on the phone. Use a code word like, hey, girl, I'm feeling saucy tonight. You know what I'm saying? Just something funny.
Right.
But it's like,
so that it's like she knows.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I know. I got you. I'm coming outside. She could be right up the building in front. Okay. I'm coming outside. So, hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? You give him you give him some, I don't know. Hey, man, I'm hungry.
If both my eyebrows are up, you know what's
see,
good.
Yeah, you see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even on the funny tip, we have, we open up the show talking about how we have a code of talking, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But it definitely ties into the poetic justice because before these unjust events happen, how can we intervene on our own within our own community and try to keep some of these things from happening, whether it's sexual assault, someone getting robbed, even you feeling sick or something like that and having an emergency. How can you let people know? That is definitely something critical that we don't really plan, like an action plan or an emergency action plan for yourself and for your family.
Yes. I mean, sit with your family. I mean, it's okay to talk about serious things, but sit with your family. We're going through some wild times as a country. Sit with your family. Now
what are we going to do when the race war starts?
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
we'll get a bunker. No. But you need something.
Yeah, not only that, but what if a natural catastrophe happened? Like a hurricane. We don't live in the area where earthquake is, but this podcast is worldwide. You live out there in Cali, it's a hurricane. You live out there in Indonesia, a hurricane, earthquake happens. That's what I was thinking of. Earthquake happens. What do you do in those situations? How have you talked with your family to say, the supply,
we're going to meet here.
Right, we're going to meet here. Yeah, the supply of goods is in here. I have a book bag in the car. I have a book bag in this closet. Over here is the flashlight. We have our snacks that don't you eat those snacks when you hungry and you ain't went to the store. Those snacks are those perishables of when we're going through something.
Right.
What if there's a blackout?
Yeah.
You know,
A flood. There's
a
different
flood.
things. That
There's so many different things that can happen. Rome. I'm serious. You know it. You know my damn daddy would be the damn one. Got hungry. You know what I'm saying? You ain't go to the store. You ain't go to the store. Man, don't you eat the crackers, man? Now what we gonna do when the flood happens and we hungry?
I just picture Lee going off on his kids. Like, don't you
I
eat
do
those
too.
snacks?
Yeah.
Don't eat those snacks.
Eat those snacks.
Those are for emergencies.
Yeah, and I could. Oh my
The
god.
one kid's like eating up, like there's just crumbs left.
Emergency snacks.
Now we hungry. Now we hungry.
Yeah.
Now all we got is bottles of water.
Thanks, Junior.
Oh man.
No, but
That's funny.
as far as with going back to the sexual assault piece, I don't know. I feel like I have a certain look. Even it's kind of funny to think about it this way, but even in the club or even walking home, where it's like I know if I was walking home alone and it was dark, I could call, 3 of my homegirls, and sometimes maybe they were busy, but I could just text them and say, hey, I need someone to talk to right now. Someone's creepy, or just someone's creeping. And then I would call them and we would catch up. But I would just if you're on the phone with someone, it really can deter people from messing with you
1000%.
because someone's on the phone with you. If something goes down, someone's going to know what's happening to you. And I always try to drop a pin in certain instances too. Sometimes you don't even have to be in direct communication, but if you feel like you need to let someone know where you are. This especially happens with some of my homegirls when they're going on first dates. Wow, or if they're definitely. One of them, she travels a lot for work. It was so funny. She told me about this story about like 2 weeks ago. She was in like somewhere like Oregon or something. And she just ended up hanging out with some people from work because she was working there for like a week.
Right.
And they went camping and they were just in the woods. And she was like, girl, I'm going to just drop this pin to like, she was telling me she dropped it to her best friend because they were camping in the woods. And she's like, I don't know these folks that well.
This would be the moment,
right?
The moment out in Oregon,
bruh.
But just letting people know where you're at.
I was out in Hiawassee, Georgia. I'm talking Confederate flags everywhere, kind of place in the mountains. I was like, Mom, Lauren, like whoever. I just want y'all to know where I'm at right now.
Right.
Like, signal was bad. We in the cabin.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, sometimes man, you just gotta let people know. You gotta know who you can tell. Hey, if you don't hear from me, if I pop up missing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think.
And you gotta know who you gotta have people that's really like. You can't have people that's like you hit them up like, well, I mean, you don't have to figure it out. Like you gotta know your people.
You have to know your people, and I think it is. I'm like a close off person. I'm like, okay, why you text me this? But I think it is good. We have to understand sometimes it is good to let somebody know your different locations. As far as I'm not saying, I'm about to go to the store real quick, but if I'm going out to an event, let somebody know, hey, I'm going out to this event tonight. Just in case some people know where you at, where you were.
Especially like I feel like a lot of men will move solo. Like they'll go to an event. Like people get so surprised when I go places alone. I don't do it like recklessly, but if I want to go to something, I'll ask
you alone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
no.
She comes to word of mouth with crew.
Oh,
like every now and again.
So
though,
you have a crew.
I can't. My thing is like I think it also comes from just being a transient person and traveling a lot of places. It's like sometimes you can get a group to go with you. Other times it's like maybe your homegirl can't go or they have work or whatever it is. But if you still want to go, don't let that hold you back. But definitely still do it responsibly. I mean, if you know you're going alone, you don't need to be like letting people buy you drinks at the bar and being reckless. But I mean, also just letting people know, hey, I went to this tonight. I'll be home around this time. Yeah. Not because I live with anybody or because they were checking up, but just to keep tabs on, to make sure someone's good. Yeah. So
and you can have your things on, your mace, your pepper spray. Your pistol, you know what I'm saying? Like
that escalated quickly.
Don't forget Rome from the ATL. And you see how it just came out?
He slid into it so casually.
Then flashbacks came, your pistol. The emphasis on the P, your pistol. God damn, your pistol?
Yeah,
you
bro.
took that shit back, a pistol.
You can have
a pistol whip somebody. I'll pistol whip you. It's like a pimp.
Whatever you need to like. No, you have those things too. Those are available to you too, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, but also like, and one other last thing.
When I have a daughter, like she's gonna have all of that. Just so you know.
Pistols.
Yeah, the pistol, a pink pistol. I just picture a pink.
She gonna know how to use it.
Yeah.
You also got to be that person for somebody else in certain cases.
Yes,
like
definitely
be reliable. If someone lets you know that that you're their person to call on, or they're like, hey, I need this, definitely try to be there when you can, and just again consistently supporting them.
And if you can have like you said 2 or 3 people like that, that's definitely helpful because
if one can't get you, you got a second.
That's what because like you saw like Kendrick, my man. That's like my you know what I'm saying. Something go down. You
Yeah.
know, bro, now he done moved, and I'm like, God, man, my ear solo.
Who's my emergency contact now?
Yeah.
It's like
No,
when you
but
go to the
that happens.
doctor and then you have like the 2 or 3 emergency contacts. So yeah.
When you stop putting your mama and need to put somebody else,
Yeah.
you gotta have
The life
you gotta
transition,
have-
you gotta find somebody else.
That's when you start adulting real hard.
Yeah, you can't be asking a 65-year-old mama to bail you out all the time.
Right.
Yo, and you know what? What would you all? I mean, what do you all carry on? How do you all protect yourselves?
I try to stay
Well,
out
hold
of
on.
this. I'm not giving
Mariah.
away. I'm not giving away.
I know you're
information.
not. That's why I said Mariah, because you've already given yourself a little low key.
No,
I don't got that thing, yo.
No,
you got that
You got the
dun.
pink pistol.
No, I'm just
Now,
saying.
do you got the one to go bing, or do you got the one to go pow?
I don't
Or
have
you got
nothing,
the
man.
boom?
I don't have
Which one
nothing,
you got?
man. I don't have nothing.
He's got the ping, but it's got like some kickback to it though.
Not
I
at
just
all,
picture
bro.
like an Inspector Gadget thing coming out of Rome's
Yeah.
sleeve.
And
like,
I don't know why I feel
what
like
you
you just.
thought?
I don't know why I feel like you just.
Like
you
the
just whip it out.
Cowboys.
Yeah, gotcha. Da 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 da. I'm riding off. I'm Rome DiCarlo. Follow me at Rome like the city,
Right.
DC like the city. I'm out.
No,
Bye.
man.
Pew, bah. Gotcha. Rome DiCarlo. I shoot my gun like I shoot my lyrics. Bah, bah. Gotcha.
Why I gotta be from the 70s? Why you got the 70s?
I don't know.
voice?
I feel like because that's Rome.
It's
That's
like
Jerome.
Austin Power
that's
right
Jerome.
now. That's Jerome right there.
comes out when he pulls the pistol. Bah, gotcha. The name's Rome. Jerome. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god, it sounds like a black exploitation film.
It is.
I'm bringing
It's
to you
undercover.
live,
Right.
Jerome.
Undercover
No,
brother
no.
meets like Austin Power.
Yes.
Right.
Bringing to you live, Rome. Jerome. Da-da-da-da.
Oh my gosh, from the
My
makers of
fault.
Superfly.
Yes, from the makers of Poetically Correct.
Yes.
What do I carry with me to
Yes.
protect
We just
myself?
got derailed.
Everyone should have safe sex, so condom. No,
Wow.
honestly.
Such a-
No, when you said protect yourself, that's what came to my
Oh
head.
my
I
gosh.
just
No, we
sexual
wrong out
health
here.
What
work,
happened
you
to
know.
that though?
Oh
People
my
don't.
God. Stop.
But people don't talk about that no more. Now that I think about it, I can't remember last time I heard somebody have a conversation.
I'm like,
I can't remember the last conversation I heard about safe sex and people talking about that. Is that still a thing? I hear about Plan Bs a lot. I hear
Nah,
about
fam.
no,
Nah,
people have
ain't a thing.
forgotten.
everybody's raw
but
dogging,
You
right?
know who has not forgotten? HIV, chlamydia,
That's true.
gonorrhea. Like these things still happen. I won't go on my tangent right now, but like I also do like health education and like we do need to do better, especially as
That looks
communities
so
of color.
bad.
We
That
still
looks so
got.
bad. I was laughing though.
And when
That's
you-
such a serious topic.
We already know.
I'm addressing it because I know how bad it just
but-
looks.
but it's-
No, it's a whole
But
spectrum, bro.
he talked about fruit snacks for his kids earlier, so we know he's kind of serious. Future kids, let me specify, so people
Hey,
are not.
you know what's crazy, yo? Sometimes I be at the store, like grocery store, and I be like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a little family. Can I rent a family?
Aw.
Like, you know, a little,
Aw.
you know, something little. Then they just like, nah, I'm good.
One day.
You see him cutting up, doing a temper tantrum on the floor, and you like, pass.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
One day,
I thought he was gonna have a cool family though, man.
he would. He would.
That shit was
One
like-
day soon, we gonna see. Soon.
I want to get this shit popping while I'm young though,
Yeah.
so I can be
So
like,
you can still run after him.
yeah.
You don't-
So I need to get this shit popping within the next 2 years. So when you come
Oh,
back,
he got the clock.
We both
He got
look
the
like,
clock. Yeah.
and at this moment,
at this moment you
When I
realize,
come back, Lee gonna have a situation going.
right,
at this moment you realize that he's out here to trap someone.
right.
Who could it be you? No, I'm joking.
You gonna come back, Lee gonna be
Ladies,
like, hey Junior,
remember, make
get
sure
this
you have
Capri
your
Sun out there.
contacts so you can be like, trap.
Have your contacts. Because when Lee rolls up and he plays Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye,
You
know
know you're
it's trying to
trapped.
happen.
And that,
No,
it's
it's
at that
happening.
oh
moment.
man, we're here for jokes, people, jokes.
But
Jokes.
I think I just carry my keys and I put them between my fingers and like I'm
Oh,
ready for
wow.
the pop pop.
I like
if
how you came
need
back
to.
with it. But ooh, that is
She was ready.
yo. Where did you get that from?
I don't even know. I think my
'Cause that's-
dad taught me to do
I was
that.
about to say, no one just thinks about I put my key here and I just jab you in the neck.
I mean, I don't want to have to do it, but like I've had some people like this was close to Halloween time, and I was walking home in New York, and I had actually gone to shows with people, but like I parked on a different block.
Yeah.
So someone was like basically walking behind me and trying to say creepy stuff and scare me. You know Halloween, how
Yeah.
people try to
Yo,
act up.
Halloween is that.
It is dangerous though, like Halloween time.
'Cause
But
you
I
don't know
had the
who's-
keys ready. I was like, "Don't try me tonight. I'm in these heels, but
Let's go.
these
let's
keys
go.
are between the fingers."
Let's go. You
Were
Take them
you,
heels
I mean,
off real
were
quick
you,
though.
were you dressed up as something that could have been? You know
It
what I'm
wasn't
saying?
actually Halloween. It was just like, you know how people make a whole week out of Halloween. Like every
Yeah.
other holiday is that day, but Christmas and Halloween they'd be like, "Nope, it's the whole month."
Yeah.
So like people, it was around Halloween time. It wasn't that actual day. It was just Right, that was playing.
That was
Like
playing.
I was walking in a gloomy area. I was like, "Oh no, I'm not going out like this." So
It
they
was a
didn't.
gloomy
Luckily,
night.
they just like
It was
walked somewhere
rain.
else. But
Young Mariah was walking through as she had her sheets on looking like a ghost. She had her candy in one hand and she had a flashlight
This
in the
happened last
others.
year.
And she was only 23 years old.
okay,
A grown person walking in the neighborhood.
Why the suspenseful music, bro?
Yes.
why do I have candy?
It sounds like
She
the name
had-
of a Twilight Zone
I
She
episode.
had
feel like
Reese's Pieces.
Out of nowhere, Rome comes. Pew pew.
Pew, pew. It's Rome. Jerome. Wow, this show just got off on so many different ways. But
Oh.
Why is it? We haven't asked you about this before, Mariah, but because he hinted at it. But like, why is it, especially with something like Halloween or anytime dressing up or just partying and going out? Why is it that people see the way certain people dress as an invitation to talk to them any type of way, or even put their hands on people?
I
is
don't
that?
know, but I think we can call the patriarchy, like phone a friend and
Okay.
find out from them. But no, like I think people when they wear short skirts, heels, and things like that, it shouldn't be an excuse for like, oh, I'm gonna try to talk to this person or catcall, because it just kind of like we've seen women who wear sweatsuits and they still get the same catcalls. So at this
That's
point,
true.
we
Wait
a
can't be
minute,
like,
wait a minute,
it's what you wear.
sweatsuit?
No, for real.
No,
Yeah.
that's real, that's real, that's real.
No. Pause. What do you mean? Yes, you're gonna get the cat call wearing sweatsuits.
Yeah,
I can't
that's the
co-sign
thing.
on
No.
That's the
But
thing.
understand what I'm saying. Understand. I'm coming from. I'm not saying that. Yeah, you deserve that. But yo,
They look good,
You see
yeah.
these sweatsuits?
Okay,
now?
but my point is, you can be wearing a potato sack.
Hey, Adidas make them sweatsuits where your ass be pop. That pop.
You can wear a potato sack.
It's a
and
way to
someone
talk
will
to
say-
somebody, though.
Someone will still
No,
try
and,
to be
and
like,
yes, I'm not condoning that.
that
it's right,
booty
but
poking in the
but
potato sack.
I'm just saying.
Why
out of
are we like
out of
this?
all the outfits you picked, and let's just can we just this is what I want to do. I want to start calling out some shit. And,
Okay.
And actually, this is half of my PSA.
Okay.
But I'm just cutting it off because we ain't got there yet.
Right.
But yo, let's call out some shit. Yo, I'm a man, so I'm gonna call out some shit because it takes.
We're at the PS. Let's
no,
slide. You sure?
No, not yet. Because not yet. But
gotta say something for
you can say one thing as a woman. You can say one thing, but men sometimes are so damn stupid. We're gonna hear you. Oh, she's just being emotional. Oh, she's just being that. You know, we have no objectivity about ourselves, right? So men, stop being some horn dogs. You know, sometimes like you say, you see in the sweatsuit, or you see whatever you may be wearing is kind of revealing whatnot. But yo, it's just some horny dudes out here that they have all these hormones or whatever, and then they feel this entitlement because of who they are and the arrogance that we carry about ourselves, thinking we could just walk amongst earth and just grab any woman that we
Right.
like. No, shut up, sit your ass down, yo. You stink, Todd.
I saw this last
No,
night.
it's no real Todd, but Todd
Yeah.
with the muscles.
I'm dead. And Jerome too. All the
Oh,
races.
no.
Damn.
No, but like I saw last night where somebody tried to like. So there's a time and place where maybe you can grab someone for a dance, and if you get turned down for a dance, just calm down. Like, so literally, Lauren has a poem about this, but people are getting killed for turning people down for
Yeah,
dance.
wow,
It's like
wow,
just
wow.
let your pride go. But like we were at an art event, and you just grab somebody and like, hey, baby girl, like I'm about to like shake on you, and it's like we're at an art event. Why are you
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's just like it's not even a dance hall. It's nothing
Yeah.
where like why would you just, and then when the girl said no, he was like, well, you sank anywhere. Like, you know how you just
Yeah.
try to come back. It's just like, come
you're
on.
so corny. You're so
Come on. I wish like men could live as like women for one day and just kind of walk down the street and see like how much you hear. Because
Yo,
you get so used to it.
I'm gonna
It's
tell
sad.
you. I'm gonna
That's a
tell you.
lot.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, so I can admit this right here. This was 2 years ago. I'm in Indianapolis right here.
Okay.
I'm in Indianapolis. I see now. I understand, Mariah, and all the women
What
out
happened?
there. My heart is with you. To all the beautiful women out there that go out there looking sexy and looking marvelous on these nights where it's a little summertime weather and you want to show your body. You've been working out during those winter months and you feel so good about yourself. I understand.
What
Because it was
happened?
Indianapolis. Is this 6'5" black man myself approached my hotel, and I got in my hotel and I went into the elevator, right? Rome, Mariah. And as I walked into that elevator,
What's coming?
smelling great, looking quite fine if I don't say so myself.
I feel
Haircut
like
was fresh. I think I had the shirt buttoned down one too many button downs. I should have
You
had
do
it
that.
I
Open
shoulda-
it up today so they can
I
see the peak.
shoulda- No, I should have had it buttoned up. I maybe should button up now because I don't want to be objectified by my body. I should be objectified by my mind and my soul. But as I got upon that elevator, it was about 5 drunk white women.
Uh-oh.
And it's at that moment that I realized that I see what it felt like to be on that plantation. When the master said, "Come inside," my wife wants to holler at you. No, but real talk though, I'm being dramatic, but real talk, I got into the elevator, man. Yo,
Some horn dogs?
The looks.
Yo, as a black man, to be around drunk white women.
Oh, that's your biggest fear.
Oh my gosh, on the elevator. Yo, oh, you look nice. Oh, can we touch you? We heard black men have the. Yeah, going like that. We hear it big. Is it
But
big?
honestly,
Like, I'm like, yo, what the? Yo, I'm trying to get it. Hey, yo. So Sway on his show has this thing called No Harvey, because you know the Harvey Weinstein stuff going on. Yeah, before the Harvey stuff came out, I'm like, yo, no, let me get up out this elevator, man, because this just
It was a trap.
Have you ever seen? Do you watch the show Insecure?
I've seen it, but I don't watch it.
It's an episode where this dude actually kind of look like Lee. Matter of fact, now I think about it, you know Lawrence on the show.
He does.
He does look like Lee.
He does.
Wow. He was at the
He's
grocery
just a tall
store.
version of him.
He was at the grocery store and these white girls like picked him up and they took him back and it got real weird because it got racial and it's like you gotta see the episode for yourself. But basically it's your situation.
Yeah.
If it went left.
If it went left, yeah.
It was left.
And they were also sober, but
Yeah.
it was
They were, like,
kind of
running
that
game.
same.
Yeah.
They were running game, but it is a lot. Like I also think about that show out by Spike Lee. She's Gotta Have It.
Yep.
Like so, she's actually an artist, and she creates a series called My Name Is Not. And so, like, it's like, my name is not baby girl. My name is not little mom. Like, you know, just different things people called her on the street, and she posted around the city. And so it's just like,
that's a
But
fine
you know,
there.
you know,
oh no.
No, I'm joking, right?
But it's just like, you know, our names aren't all these things that people are just calling you randomly on the street. And it's like, think about if this was your daughter. Think about if this was a friend. Like, I mean, there's things we do in youth, but we really just need to start rethinking how we live as a culture. As far as feeling comfortable to just call somebody out and make them feel kind of uncomfortable. Because it's just like, why do you feel like you have entitlement to say that? There's one thing to try to pick somebody up and actually do it in a respectful tip. But sometimes when you're yelling this stuff, come on. Like beach week on the street, you knew she wasn't going to turn around.
Yeah.
Like, hey, red shorts.
Yeah. And like it's
But
just
sometimes red shorts turns around and she says, "What's up?"
and that's what encourages it because it works sometimes for some people. But then you gotta ask why that person would entertain that. You know what I mean? And then, but maybe you don't care. You know, if you,
He's having flashbacks right
it's
now.
kind of a.
No, I'm chilling.
It can get like that though, but you know, it's just about respecting people because like, and it happens like you said, it happens the other way around too. You know what I mean? Girl might be
Less
like
common,
a light
but
skin or you know a blah blah blah. And
Well,
it's like,
hold on. Let me ask you all this because this
it is less common though.
This actually gets into the new segment that we have right now.
Oh.
And I want to transition because I want to stop right there because it goes perfectly.
Yeah.
We talk. This is a social issue, right?
Yes.
Is it not?
Yeah.
So as poets, and this is a poll that we're gonna put out. We want you all to vote on it too. I think we'll all put this out on our Instagrams and whatnot. We'll all kind of see what the cumulative percentage is. So follow us. You see the names right here to follow us. But do you think as poets we have a responsibility? I want us all to give our spiel on this. But do we have a responsibility to address social issues?
I say no. I say you don't have a responsibility to address social issues. I think at the end of the day, I write and I do this stuff just because it's fun to me. So I just like to do it. Now, I think as a person, as a conscious, living, breathing person, whatever you do, if you look around and you see what's going on, I feel like whatever's true to you, you should take on that responsibility to make a difference, to help out however you see fit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're a poet, then that can naturally manifest through your poetry. But honestly, your poetry could be whatever it is, and outside of your poetry, you might be a part of a community activist group where you do this and that. It doesn't necessarily have to be that one way. So I think as a human being, you have responsibility to address, you know, issues of injustice and misconduct, and if people aren't being treated fairly, whatever you're passionate about, whatever's on your heart, you should do that. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I say it's a human responsibility, not a poet's responsibility. Because for me, my poetry, I don't want my poetry to just be like, okay, I'm a poet, so I got to talk about this, that, and third. No, I do this just because I love to do it.
Love to do it, right.
You know what I mean? And that, first and foremost, and as a human, I care about these issues, and however I can address those things, I will.
I like that.
Yeah.
What say you?
I would say, I was really debating on this, but I'm going to say yes. I do think that, you know, you have to, your art reflects the time, right?
Mhm.
So it's just like we look at artists over time, whether it was music artists, whether it was dancers, whether it was actual visual art or poetry. It literally shows us what was going on during that time. Think about like it's Black History Month, so gotta shout out Langston Hughes.
Yes.
During the Harlem Renaissance, him talking about like, you know, all these different things going on with the Negro. We look at James Baldwin, I Am Not Your Negro, and just talking about these different things. If their art didn't actually reflect what was going on at the time, how would we be able to look back and really get a snapshot into what it was like to be a black person living at this time? And I do think that, you know, they could have just made poems only about love. They could have just, you know, James Baldwin also had graphic novels and things that he wrote about love. But in addition, he also felt it was his responsibility to talk about being gay, to talk about being black, and just the different identities he holds. So I feel like even if I tried to conceal different parts of who I am, your poetry kind of just talks about your perspective. It's really storytelling a lot of the times when it boils down. And because I do try to focus on health-oriented things, I notice not all my poetry is about that, but there's certain pieces that have to do with health where I might squeeze in a statistic there or might drop knowledge here about something that's an actual fact that maybe no one's ever going to go on the CDC's website and read about. No one's ever going to like pick up this medical textbook, but if you actually say it to them, maybe it resonates a little bit and maybe they Google something after the show. But I will say what resonated with me, what Rome was talking about is you can't really say, okay, you pigeonhole yourself all the time. Sometimes like that's what people like to do. They're that poet that just talks about black power, and that's fine. Like some people like to just stay in their lane and rest there. But for me, and I think for a lot of people who are trying to move across different markets, I have poems for different scenarios. So I've had poems that were about heart health for a specific heart health event. But then I have other poems that are about love that I just wrote as therapy for myself. Other poems that might be about a family or just a storytelling thing that I just decided to write for. There's different reasons you write for. You could write to entertain. You could write to inform. You could write to, you know, just be therapy for yourself. So it does depend what headspace I'm in on what I'm writing to. But I think as far as your catalog, you should have some things that do talk about social justice issues, just to try to bring it to the forefront and have another way to get at the people other than them looking at the news or reading an article.
You know, I look at this topic and I look at this question, and both of you hit on some points that I want to touch, because as a poet, it's based on your perspective, your experience, based on your thoughts and point of views, right? So I think in social issues themselves, no, but see, the thing about it is, indirectly, what you talk about directly talks about the social issues. So watch this. If you're talking about, per se, let's say I'm talking about romance, right? How I talk about that romance, how I talk about that experience, how I talk about that situation ultimately boils down to, let's say, a social issue. Directly goes to a social issue about someone, how they treat somebody from domestic violence, how they treat somebody, how they respect a woman, how they respect a man. How if I talk about a situation where I'm out and about and I'm talking about uplifting, or I'm talking about a situation I've been through, you're talking about a social issue of maybe bullying. You're talking about a social issue of maybe how we talk to people. Indirectly, sometimes the things that we talk about are directly based upon what we want to give out. So it looks like I think it goes into the intent of how you use your words. We talked about early on the show, words have the power to uplift or kill. Either you're birthing life or you're killing life. So indirectly, how you deliver that baby, we're talking about the baby of your words, how you deliver it in the world that you deliver. The world that you deliver is your poetry. Your words are that baby coming out. So what world are you delivering that into, right? So are you delivering the world of hate, or are you delivering the world of peace and love? If you're delivering it into a world of peace and love, as far as how you carry and what you write about, then indirectly you're addressing social issues. You may not take on one specific issue itself, and like James Baldwin, it's good that he had to talk about those things because that's history right there. I think every poet does have a responsibility of how they I think far as the social issue, but more of a line of our responsibility of what we give off to people. We have a responsibility and to be aware of what we give off. You know, we have to be aware that we can be either positive or we can be either negative.
Right.
So I want to see what the people think about that too as well.
I'm excited. So repeating the question, it's about like whether you think your art has to reflect social issues.
Yes. So
Okay.
as do you think? Okay, here's the question. Everybody, slow down. Do you think poets have a responsibility to address social issues?
Okay.
Boom. You'll see it on our
Yes, no,
Instagrams.
maybe so.
Yes. It's no, maybe so. I need you to be black and white. Yes or no. But we talked about
maybe, I don't know.
that. And two,
Pushing
don't
in the middle.
You listen,
Right.
yeah,
There's no
and-
button.
yeah, and you've listened to what we said, but don't let our things make persuade you.
Yeah, have your own opinion.
have your own feel, and if you do, let us know.
Yeah, have your own input.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DM us and say, hey, no, I think you should talk about this, Lee, or I think you should talk about this, Ron, because we
Get on
trust,
team Mariah.
right?
Yes.
Yes. But you know what the other thing
See?
too is, like, damn it, why do we bring up this man almost every show?
Uh-oh.
That's how.
Oh gosh,
but when
Jay-Z?
No.
Okay.
No. Because when you're a big artist like this, you're gonna get addressed in some situations. But this aligns in with Drake, and people have an issue.
Oh man, we do always bring up.
Yeah. That's how I wanted to stop,
The
and I was like,
Bones back.
shit.
Okay.
But it aligns in this topic. People talk about where Drake doesn't address social issues enough, and people say that because they want to hear what you have to say about it. Sometimes. And I think that's where it comes from as an artist to realize the power that we hold. Sometimes I think now I'm going back on what I said a little bit, but understanding our fans. And I want to talk about this on next show, not right now, but I want to talk about this next show. How do we know what our fans want? I want you to just think about that. We're not going to talk about that because I want you I really want you to think about that.
Yeah,
because I'm
I wanna
thinking about it. That's why I'm
about
not ready to how do we know what our fans want from us? And I think that's something interesting because truth and honesty is one thing I want to touch on real quick. And that's why I think when it comes to the social issues, that's why people look at Drake and say, what do you have to say about this? You're a mega star. You're going through this life. Don't you see what we're going through rather? What do you have to say? And because people hang on to your words. Yeah, they may listen to this person. They may listen to this person. You may have people that listen to Rome and myself, but your word is the one that really hammers down the nail. So that's one thing to realize as artists too.
Yeah.
And it's just powerful when you actually devote your career to the social issues because you stand to lose some of your fans because of that.
Yeah.
I know Nina Simone will talk about that sometimes. Like how she would talk about like when there was like things going on in the black community, like Mississippi Goddamn, or like other songs that she did were just about, people getting killed. And she knew that some people may not feel it. And as a result, she might lose some following. So I'm definitely excited to think about the fans for the next show. We got some good homework today.
Yeah, definitely.
I was waiting. I knew someone was going to sign some homework.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully we're going to turn ours in this time, Rome. We're going to do better.
I'm going to be on. I'm going to be
For
on
those
both
that
of
have been
you all.
listening, you know we're not star students, but we're coming up. We're about to raise
You
our
know what?
GPA.
Y'all the MFers.
Finessers.
That come to class. Y'all be having A's and shit. Here I am working my ass off. I got a damn B-, but y'all got A+, and y'all don't
getting
never do
flashbacks.
shit.
You got A+, bro.
That's how shit, man.
You got A+.
Unless it's plus minus scale, then he just got an A with the rest of us. Flashbacks too soon? Okay.
Too soon. Hey, yo, you know what I want to Hey, you know what I want to flashback on? Hold on.
What?
This song right here came out, and it just had one of the meanest intros.
Okay.
It's like one of the
I
meanest.
feel like I know what this
It's
is.
like one of the meanest interludes.
Okay.
At any point that you hear this song performed, you throw up a certain signal. You
Okay.
throw up a certain symbol.
Yeah, I feel like I
Right.
know what this is.
Whenever I see this man perform, I instantly throw up the symbol. Because
Okay.
sometimes
He's been to multiple sightings.
multiple.
Okay.
Because sometimes you gotta let somebody know what's going on, and you have to be direct because it be some BS going on, right?
There do be some BS
I
going
don't
on.
know what we're about to do right now.
And Rome
Oh,
suggested
man.
that we come with this. If
Yeah.
we're going to do this correct, and we call ourselves poetically correct,
correct.
then allow me to reintroduce myself. Not yet. It was a little too early.
We gotta wait for it a
It was a
little
little
bit.
too early.
All right.
It's coming back
I wasn't
around.
ready. I
Here we
wasn't
go.
ready. I was a
All
little
right.
too eager.
You got another
But-
chance.
I was a little off. But this is PSAs, poetic service announcements.
Poetic
Alright.
service announcements. We got some things we want to talk about here.
Some things on the chest.
We gotta get this off the chest.
So who wants to start off? Rome looked like you were ready, man. What you got?
I was-
tell
man-
the people, man. What's up?
So
your PSA?
I said my PSA was gonna be based on me not making a basketball team in high school, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
You said that.
listen, man, I was in there, bruh. I'm talking. It's final day for cuts. Me and this other guy, we fighting for the last spot. You know, maybe we shouldn't fight for the last spot. Maybe I should have secured my spot a little sooner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we out there, we doing our thing. Last day of tryouts, 6'5" freshman kid shows up. You know what I mean?
Nasty.
Just moved.
Athletic.
Just moved to the city. He my boy too. Shout out to the homie. But
I don't shout him out.
right
now,
at the
not
time,
during the PSA.
not during tryouts. So we competing, bruh.
Yeah.
And we doing our thing, right? So I'm beating him in all the drills. You know what I mean? The other guy, we showing up, whatever. And then
So there's a third contestant.
it's a third contestant. So it's 3 of us.
Yes.
And we all vying for the spot. And the roster come out. My name ain't on the list.
Ooh.
JV coach come up to me after. He's like, "Yeah, I had you on my I had you on the team, but you know the varsity coach, he wanted to be able to work with old buddy. So you know what I mean? Cause he tall, whatever.
Yeah.
So he got the spot. So I'm like, damn. So I ain't make the team.
Okay.
So I was like, screw that coach. So I didn't try out sophomore year, junior year. I just focused on track. Coach left. I don't know if he got fired or he quit. New coach
got
comes
fired.
New coach comes senior year. I was like, all right, senior year.
Did the 6'5" dude keep playing?
He kept playing. Yeah.
He went to the league.
he played in a junior college or something. I think he got a little education out of it. So that's cool.
He got humbled.
Senior year, I'm back. New coach. I was like, I'm trying out. I'm out there. I'm trying out. I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm blocking the shots of the best player on the team. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
I'm in the drills. Cuts come. Coach put me aside. He's like, you was doing your thing, but like, you're a senior now.
That's how it goes.
You old, and we got people who want to develop. Basically, long story short. So I didn't make the team. So what it taught me was, I should have said screw it. Sophomore year, junior year, I should have still been working on doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? So
Plot twist.
Just because you feel the way about coach or whatever, don't let that deter you from you doing what you want to do and playing what you want to play. You know what I mean? Because I could have still been doing my thing. I could have been out here doing AAU or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working on my game and still did my thing. But I was like, screw it, because I didn't mess with the coach.
Wow, I like how that. I like how it turned from you saying F it, and then you really learning a valuable lesson from it.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, yeah.
You actually learned a lesson in this.
I
PSA.
learned a lesson from the.
Wow,
That's a plot twist.
That
Right.
is the plot twist.
You talked it out.
Talk it out. Let's talk about.
That was my first time talking it out too, so I just learned from that.
So, Mariah, what about you? Got something you want to get off your chest?
Oh, we got to start the track back over.
I want you to feel that
I'm
beat.
really trying to feel what I want to go off on this week. There's so many things.
So many things that rumble through your mind and make you say, yo, what in the world is going on in this planet? This universe. Let them know.
What's really been grinding my gears this week.
Grinding my gears.
So I have locks, right? And I be going to the hair salon,
Okay.
not the natural hair salon, but the hair store, excuse me. And it's like, stop putting on your products organics. Stop putting Africa's Best organics, whatever it is. This ain't organic. I turn it over on the back and I see alcohol. I see like all these benzene, all these different words that are not coconut oil or not almond oil. So
Right.
it's just like, why lie? Why you gotta lie, Craig?
Right.
Why you gotta lie?
on,
Why
man.
y'all
Like,
lying on the organic?
What are
yo?
y'all doing,
What's
bruh?
up?
Why do I have to look so far to even find the oil? And then y'all ladies, stop doing this. Stop buying the coconut oil that doesn't even solidify when it gets cold. Coconut oil is supposed to like be in different forms. It liquefies if it's hot. It'll like solidify if it's cold.
I didn't know that.
If you're getting the little baby bottles from the beauty supply that the owner sold to you that are like this small, it's liquid in the winter, baby, that's not real coconut oil. That's coconut oil extracted and mixed with some other stuff. So make sure you read the back of your products because please, like, you're wondering why your hair's still dry, breaking off, not growing, because you don't got coconut oil, baby.
Damn.
Coconut oil, baby.
I don't know. I just get upset because it's like you have to look for a long time to find real products. Like it's like you can't even trust what they're telling you in the marketplace right now. It'll be
At
like,
all.
oh,
At
raw.
all.
It'll be this, that.
Ever.
And it's not.
It's loopholes that you can get around. And
Right.
that's
Like
the
you
whole
can say
thing.
raw to a certain point or organic to a certain point, and it's really not.
Yeah, it's like even with milk, it's a certain amount of pus that they can allow to still be in milk. Like there's a pus limit. I'm sorry if that's gross.
It was a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Yo, take that shit to your podcast.
I'm a vegan.
I'm like-
I'm sorry. I'm a vegan.
Yeah,
so
I
I
didn't know that.
yeah.
That shit just got the word pus is nasty.
It is, bro.
Now I'm just thinking about the pus floating around in my cereal.
I feel like that's how pus
I'm
sound.
gonna go back to when I was on almond milk for a minute.
That's puss.
I'm
Oh
sorry
my
if I grossed
gosh.
out the
Dripping down your esophagus.
the dairy
Is that
people.
how you say it?
No, we got some vegan listeners. I feel like
Yes,
they're
we
with
do.
you. Like, yes, talk more about it, Ro.
Oh my gosh, yo. But let me tell y'all, Ro.
Okay, come with your PSA.
I wanted to talk about. I brought this up earlier and talking about how, as a man, calling shit out. Right. I'm not. I don't know. Put my phone down. 'Cause I need to grab the mic with this. Oh shit.
Get the
On
grip.
some real shit, yo. You have to be. You know what? I'm tired of these phony. Like, I don't know if it's phony intentional. So I'm not going. Let me put this in there.
Okay.
Let me walk into the room like this. I'm gonna walk into the room. I'm gonna smile at everybody. All right. I don't want to come in the room just busting. The gap just yet. But yo, don't stop being afraid. If you say your friend, if I'm your friend, Rome,
Yeah.
I'm your friend, Mariah, and I see you doing some bullshit or some fuck shit, I'm about to call you out on it, yo.
You
we
gotta
gotta
pistol
stop.
whip your friend.
You got a pistol. Come bring your ass here. Yo, stop letting your friends do some corny shit, or stop letting them say bullshit around you, and you just looking at them. You looking at your other friend like, this mug is wilding, or yo. Some people go through things or whatever. Check them out. This goes with seeing if they're good or not. But stop letting them say some wild shit. And this is what I'm talking about as far as a man. Now, there's several layers to this. As a man, I'm at a stage now with some shit going on that I'm getting older and I'm realizing how misogynist we and sexist we can be when we're talking. Yes, I'm going to talk about this. And yes, as I know some men, it gets on your nerve because you're hearing about it day and night about, being sexist, being misogynist and how we talk and whatever. But it's something that's gone on for so long that we never address and that we just sweep over the rug. And then when we get around our boys, it's like, yeah, it's the guy talk. Yeah, it's this how we talk or whatever. No, it can't be how we talk because we regulate it and then it surfaces. It keeps going on. And then we have our sons, they do that shit, and then they get around the women and they do that shit. Oh, when we have our daughters, we tell them, oh, you gotta look out for this, look out for that. But meanwhile, we doing the same shit, yo. So if you hear some misogynist shit being said, come on now. You hear your man talking about something, yeah, man, these hoes y'all went in there, saw about five hoes just ready to go. You know what I'm saying? They ready. Let's stop right there. We're not going to talk about defining what a hoe is, but yo, you went into the joint, you seen 4 or 5 young ladies, you saw some 4 or 5 women there. Yo, how you just going to, you come into a spot, and I'm speaking of personal experience. Not speaking of, I'm just throwing hypotheticals. Yes, I was once that guy. Yeah, man, the hoes in here tonight. What the hell, Benny? Shut the hell up. I'm talking back to my old self. I'm talking about my old self. Like, yo, what you mean the hoes in here tonight? Okay, yes, it's some women in here. So what? Let's have a different pedigree on how we speak about things. Let's have a different pedigree on how we go about. Let's have a different type of class. And if you hear some corny shit being said, yo, clown your friends. That's what friends are about. We can clown your ass, yo, and stop and don't take it sensitive. You doing some? We checking you on it. You should be mad if you doing some clown shit and you doing some crazy whatever, you're talking crazy and we don't address it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will laugh when I say something, or I see somebody just saying something just to pass on something and I speak up for them. It's funny, but no. Yeah, tell him, my man, yeah, your set was too long. You know what I'm saying? Tell him you went over time a little bit. It's okay, you know what I'm saying? But if you cool with somebody, they respect you more when you can give them an honest message. Let's have honest message with the people around us. Otherwise, we live in this world of fakeness, and then we get mad when somebody do some fake shit against us. It's because the fakeness is just going all around. I don't want that. Get off me, man. Get this fakeness off of me,
Cut the fakeness.
Yes, man. I just
point them out.
Stop,
point them
man.
out.
Because I tell people, I want to create an environment where we can speak to each other and we can talk, we can kick it real quick. You know what I'm saying? We can express our views about something, and it may get under your skin, but at the end of the day, you know the intent. Like, learn the person's intent, right? So I want to kick it with people, and I want to talk, and we may have differences and disagree, but not take it as, well, F that person. No. Take it and understand they have a different perspective, but know that their intent is just to let you know where they're coming from, and not to, I'm going to kill you and destroy you. No,
healthy discourse.
Yes, man.
Healthy discourse.
Yo, because I hate when people just sit by and listen to. Yo, no, man, that's your man's. That's your man's.
Right. So it's a representation of you, and you're over here letting them talk crazy.
Talk crazy, yo. Stop it. Stop it. Nope, not having it no more. Nope.
We got seriously today.
We got serious.
Was that serious?
Seriously. That's almost like a segment right there. Seriously.
Ooh,
Seriously.
Didn't even do it intentionally.
Wow, seriously. But I can still get down. I said shoot you with some jokes and some funniness.
That's your man's.
That's your man's. Yo,
Man,
So your circle is a representation of you.
1000%. And I don't have.
Your circle's a mirror, really.
It's damn right. It's a mirror. I want to look good when I look in the mirror.
Right.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know we lining up together, fresh. I don't want to look in the mirror and see one side of me looking ugly and the other side looking at me looking all right, and one side looking a little lazy. No, we gonna hey come on, man, get it together, yo. I need you to pick it up.
How do you?
No.
So you hold your friends accountable.
Yes.
Is there ever a time where you're trying to like?
And I want them to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
Whatever I
we
wrong.
will.
Yeah.
We
Y'all
will.
do. Y'all do.
I'm like,
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Ask your question.
Is there a difference between holding somebody accountable and trying to make them be
What you want them to
what
be?
you want them to be?
Yes, there's a total difference right there. Because somebody could be saying, yo, I want to just. Yes, there's a total difference, right?
Yeah.
So, man, how do we get back to this? The only quick thing I can think about. Like, let's say somebody says, well, I just want to go out and I want to have fun and I want to meet. I want to just smash all these people, whatever. You're like, yo, have some respect about yourself. You know what I'm saying? But if that's how that person wants to, you say, well, okay, yeah, that's how you moving? And they're like, yeah, that's how I'm moving. All right, cool. Then do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's letting that person be aware. I think it's more about letting them be aware of how they sound.
Okay.
Not judging how they sound, but yo, you sound like this, right? You know, you look like this. I'm just letting you know, like you my man,
Right.
but you look like this. I'm giving you how it looks from, because sometimes we cannot be aware of how we look on others. Oh boy, if I've learned that.
And that's the mirror that you're talking about.
Yes, and that sometimes your perspective can be a little different. We can be in the same building, but all have different views. So,
and your intention could have been something else, but the impact
oh
could have
my
been something
gosh,
else.
yo, your intention.
We keep going back. These old shows,
Yes.
gyms,
Yo,
we
and
talk-
you know what? You can have good intentions, but make bad decisions.
right.
I could tell you something so many times because I'm aggressive when I talk sometimes. So I come with so much passion. But it's not meant to tear your head off. It's just I'm trying to express, like, just listen to what I'm saying. Like, you gotta understand this. And sometimes people think I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm bitter or whatever. No. Like, listen to the message.
Right.
I'm using this delivery because I'm passionate. I want you to understand that I'm passionate about it, right? So sometimes I have good intentions, but it comes over bad, and I've lost like people because they think, oh no, he on something. Nah, but no, just understand I'm giving you
right.
Yeah. So yes,
Hell yeah.
man.
Woo! I'm ready to hear Rome bless us real quick with this verse.
Oh yeah, she's like, get on, Benny. All right now. Oh, okay.
No, I've been waiting on this verse because I want to hear what this like secret thing that Benny has for us.
Yeah.
Today.
Oh, okay, got you. Let's get on, man. Time moving. My fault. We over here just talking.
Oh no.
That's what we do here, politically
Yeah,
correct,
right.
man.
You ready?
We
You
on the
ready?
couch
All right,
chilling.
you ready, yo?
Yeah,
So how we ice it off is freestyle.
absolutely.
Yo, I don't.
He's
I
ready.
don't like
He's too
this, yo.
smooth. He's too
Oh my gosh, yo.
LA Rome. He just transitioned into LA Rome.
All right, yo. You got 5 fingers of death.
All right,
5 different beats. I'm
Yeah.
switching them up. You better be ready,
Oh,
yo.
man.
I'm ready, bro.
And
Ma-
he's got all 5 fingers on the mic. He's ready.
yeah. All
let's go.
right. But I know what, yo. I got your ass.
I'm ready to hear these beats.
Let's go, man.
He's gonna pick something crazy.
He is. I already know too.
Come on, man.
You got this. I believe in you.
I bet you this is the whole beat right here. It's not even gonna it's not ever gonna drop.
That would be ill.
I don't even
It
know if I should
was,
start
yeah.
rapping yet because I don't know if this is something about to come in or.
He paused it. All right.
That's
I think
the
that
illest
is
beat. This is the
whole
illest beat right here.
My fault.
Oh.
You know, Dad, all my life I've tried to convey.
Okay.
That's how we gonna start this off right here.
Okay.
I want to let people know that I'm coming from Rome's head top this week to see how he freestyles, to see how he
Guillotine
gets
style.
it. So I want you to get your thoughts right. You had a little sample right there.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into it something like this. Where you at?
Chilling on the sample, coming up off the mantle. Check my trophies, I be shining bright like a candle. Roll the collar, spit it, guaranteed these niggas hear me. Every time I spit it, guaranteed these niggas fear me. I'm coming off the top and I'm coming really so hard. When I spit it off the top, I be running the boulevard. So catch me in my car, I'm rolling in my Corolla. Every time I spit it, coming like a soldier, shooting up all these tracks. When I spit it off the top, guaranteed I'ma just attract the #1 spot. I'm really gonna rock when I be spit it so hot. I be sounding like Pete Rock, like a human beatbox, trying to catch the flow though. And every time I spit, I get the ring just like I'm Frodo. Yeah, the Lord of Rings on the scene. Switch it up. Every time I spit it, guaranteed I run the team. Yeah, I run the scene and I'm coming in with the green. Guaranteed that's what I mean when I spit in it so obscene. Yeah, yeah. And I'm just rapping on this camera. Roam the collar, spit it. I'm the microphone dismantler. Yeah. Biting like tarantulas, but niggas better know I'm coming hard. These niggas hardest. Every time I spit, I be the illest of these artists. Yeah. He's switching beats all the time. This is more than 5 of them, but I don't never rewind. I just keep going overtime. Spit it so divine. When I be spit it, guaranteed they steady hold the lines. Yeah, yeah. The number 4 up in the air. When I be spitting without a care, I'm leaving with my nappy hair because I'm black rooted. I'm back to it. I spit it off the top, guaranteed. I rap Rubik's cubes around these niggas, they looking puzzled. And every time I spit it, the competition so muzzled. They got nothing to say. I spit it with no delay, guaranteed they gon' obey. Like the clothing line, my rhymes are so divine. Every time I spit, you know they go rewind. They want to hear it again, don't comprehend the mission that I'm on. Guaranteed I don't defend, I just attack. The hardest nigga with raps, when I spit it off the top, guaranteed they never gon' match. Like I don't smoke, trying to catch the flow. I'm so dope when I get it off the top, guaranteed they go rope themselves like they just lynching themselves. I going hard, guaranteed they steady benching themselves. I run this game when I spit it off the top, guaranteed I run this lane like I'm driving in a 18-wheeler whip. When I spit it off the top, guaranteed the dealership is what I'm steady rolling through, coming with the coldest coupe. Yeah, guaranteed I got the coldest flu. I'm sickest on this microphone. You never match it though. And every time I spit it, guaranteed I got the classic flow. Jurassic dope.
Yeah,
that was cool, man.
I'm gonna do a better transition next time. Like, you know what?
Yeah,
Good job.
you
Good
did
job.
that.
Thank
You
you.
did that.
I
You
respect
did
that.
that.
I respect when somebody can get
I
right.
saw Benny like starting to be like, I got him, and then like you could see on like Psalm 4, he was like, just dying down. Like I could see your like blood going down.
you see how the villain thinks he has him.
Right.
Got him. I've got you now. And then
You helping me get back to this freestyle thing. I really appreciate this.
Yeah.
This segment
When you
was helping
said
me,
throwing
man.
up the 4, I was like, okay, 704. That was kind of
Trying to. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna get more.
it all flowed. It
all this
flowed.
helps us at the end of the day.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's
Like,
lyrical exercise
lyrical
It is.
exercise. So
in front of everybody.
in front of everybody, because I think we're dope, right?
Yes.
Hey, I'm
Yes.
saying this right now. Rome is dope. Mariah is dope. But follow beyond your definition. I'm dope.
You
So
are
in
dope.
order for us to
Right.
prove
Yes.
this, I want us to do this live on the spot. That's what this is about,
Hell
right?
yeah, yeah.
All
Plus
right.
it's
It's
just
important.
fun.
And like this is all I don't know about. I mean, I used to have my little freestyle workshop, whatever things. I know you probably did that
Yeah.
with poetry a lot, and Leah, obviously with your ability to do it, you've done it at some point too. So
All right. So
it's time.
I want this impromptu to be Ayo.
Oh boy,
What's the challenge this
anything
time?
special?
I just thought of something for you too, so I'm excited.
Oh, what
Be
you mean?
kind. I just thought of like just a little thing that I'm gonna say during yours.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'll throw it out on the table. But this week I wanted us. The prompt is we have to describe. You throw something out, we have to describe it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay. I can see how mine will still work.
You see
okay.
how yours still work?
Yeah.
So let me know.
So
when
I'm still going off of words, but I'm just describing them in my.
but
piece.
only one word. Or Do
okay.
you want to do several different words? That shit's gonna be tough.
We could, yeah.
Okay.
We
so
say
So it's still
describe
like
it.
y'all
Yeah.
are just calling words out, and I have
So
to
when you-
describe them in my
you have to
piece.
describe. So if you say table, I have to describe it.
you can't just be like I'm putting my thoughts on the table.
No.
You gotta actually
You
break
gotta
down.
Ooh, so we're
describe.
going
You gotta-
figurative
Yeah,
this week.
yes, figurative. You see how?
Oh,
You see how?
okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for using English. Actually, taking us to school.
I'm excited.
All right, you
I've
ready?
never tried this. Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully, I know
Damn.
all the words. I heard some crazy words came up last night. I hope it's words I know.
Yeah.
All right.
So who's starting?
Are you?
Yeah, I can start.
Okay.
All right. So
I had gotten ready to be on the
Yeah.
chopping
You
block.
Yeah,
You did.
I got away real quick.
You did.
yeah.
All right. You ready?
Y'all let me know.
You got the word for him, right?
Yeah. I got a
Okay.
word to start. Country music.
Yeah. You know, man. I get on side of my horse and I feel the force that comes through my lyrical vines as I ride through the wind and I see the blue skies. Oh, look at that grapevine on my farm. It feels good. I'm listening to that bango. I'm listening to that congo. I'm listening to that banjo. I'm listening to something while I have my toes out, just feeling the breeze. Oh, it feels nice as I have my jeans cut to the knees as I let my boom box play to something so smooth as, yes,
Flip-flop.
those singers sing while I lay lay out on the beach. Yes, I have my feet, but not on that sand. No, best believe I have something to cover this complete. Yes, cause I am the man as I lay here while the water drips up. Oh, I'm talking, baby, up your skirt. But when you walk with me, you best believe I'm going to flirt. But you best be have something on your feet, because if you walking with me and you barefoot,
Salt.
best believe when I'm gonna be a little something like that when I season this flow. But like when I season my food, that's cause when I have to go from my family's cookout. But it's so nice whenever we're out. Best believe we had that R. Kelly playing, but I know some people feel a little way. Yeah.
Love seat.
Love, come here. Sit beside me, because what we're sitting on is something so nice. What we're sitting on is something like rice. The way I throw you around, baby, with these words, just know that I want to touch your curves while we sit on this. Yes, and you sip out that cup that I just picked up from your favorite spot. And yes, best believe I got something in this drop. Oh, no, I'm not talking about no pills, and we're not about to Bill Cosby this, but I'm talking about something that we can get naughty with this. Yes, something. I know you like that X to the C whenever you see me. Best believe I'm going to make this something nice as we lay back on that love seat and look at something right on my wall. Yes, I use something nice. Now, I don't have a TV, but don't judge me, because what I got goes 70 feet. You feel me? Yes, this is poetically coming live. And baby, let me undo something on your feet. I like it when you wear those Jordans. Yes, it makes you look so neat, and you are so sweet. Sometimes you don't wear heels, and I get the deal. You like to look fresh, so once again, let me pull those off you, because you make me feel blessed whenever I'm in your presence. And baby, what y'all got? Is that all y'all got?
Thong.
Oh, we're gonna keep it going. You see, we were in the mood, and this music is so intrusive on how I feel at this moment. It's the gloomy weather, and sometimes I like it when it's like this, because sometimes when it's hot, you ladies like to look nice and right, and sometimes you can get a little sweaty in that hot weather. And that's when we hit the court where I used to ball, and I used to make them fall the way I switch it up with the ball and make them cross and criss, and now I'm flossing this. And yes, this is how I come back with it. Oh, I remember 5th grade. It was 5th grade. Let me tell y'all, I used to want a ball, but then I fell on the hall because somebody made my drawers of my ass say pause. God damn it. And that was that was actually on the mic. Y'all funny. Y'all
well done.
funny.
Well done.
Funny.
That was funny. You kept it going though.
You did that, bro.
Oh man.
Y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong.
Hey, you tied it all up at the end.
Y'all wrong.
Tied it all up.
All right, man. Y'all ready?
Yes, I'm ready to be on the chopping block. He looks like he's plotting already.
Yeah. He's like, okay,
but I gotta plan myself.
Oh.
Bomber jacket.
Zipping up your lips, covering me almost like it was raining outside, or maybe it was sleet or snow. I'm ready for any weather. Like a mailman, I'll go. No matter what type of weather is outside, I gotta get on a roll, pick and roll like I used to do back in the day, but no jump shots anymore.
Thermostat.
Just warming up my whole spirit as it trickles down my throat. So beautiful. Hot cocoa. A nickname I used to call you, and sometimes you call me Sunny D.
Butter.
Because I was the vitamin C that you needed to survive. And sometimes I was the things that killed you, clogging up your arteries like that yellow stick that mama used to cook with. Can't believe it's not butter.
Power outlet.
And there were surges in the relationship too. Shocking times when I tried to fork you. And sometimes we would charge up with each other like an outlet.
Stop sign.
You never know when a yellow light might come up in life. I've always just hoped for green, never red, but when that yellow light comes up, do you stop or do you keep going?
Flashlight.
And when it's all dark, how will you see? You used to be that assistance to me when I didn't know where to go. I could still light up a room and glow. Some people call it a smile, but you know, I also called it a flashlight.
Breakfast.
Oh.
Breakfast.
Sometimes you want something to keep your food cold. And for this, I'll go. I'll pull the eggs out. I'll make an omelet. You already know. Coming to you in bed with substance. Some people call it B and Airbnb, breakfast in bed. I remember when
Sex
we were
toy.
there. And some other things people use when bay leaves. Not bay leaves like the tea, but something else that's still sweet. And they use it to make up for the love they no longer have.
Outcast.
And then, like Andre 3000, they're singing about Carolines in their past, and she might not come back. And sometimes this shit won't smell like roses, but we still gotta laugh.
That's it.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, when you started to look for things, it's a wrap.
We were
That's a
playing I
wrap.
Spy for a second.
Oh, man, yo,
That was fun.
Yo, I appreciate
Oh,
y'all once
man.
again
Yeah.
being here.
Nice.
That was a good time.
It was a good show, y'all. I just want to end with some up
Hey.
the energy as we
Hey.
go out, as we fade out. You watch it on YouTube, Poetically Correct. You may be listening on SoundCloud. You listen on whatever podcast form you're on. You may be watching a little clip on Instagram, whatever. You may just follow us at Rome D. Carlo, Beyond Your Definition, Poetically, and just like that.
We out.
Yo.